It is October 15th, 2025, and today we're going to learn how to move furniture properly. This is Inverted World Live. What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. This is Inverted World Live, and I am your host, Shane Cashman. What day is it? Wednesday? Thursday? I don't even know anymore.
I think it's Wednesday.
Sounds about right. Well, we're glad you guys are all here. We got a great show ahead of you. In about 30 or so minutes, we're going to get to callers. If you've got a weird story you want to talk about, please do call in. The link to call in is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. You can call in with a strange story, unexplained, mysterious, dark story, cryptids, aliens, ghosts, you name it. Or you can call in and talk about something we've discussed in the first 30 minutes of the show. I'm, of course, joined by Brandon. How are you, sir?
What's up, Shane? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Day 3 of the Madness Week with more news coming out about more news.
More news.
And it was a very weird day around here, as I'm sure some of you who watched IRL found out quickly. And it's funny to me that this all happened because I was telling Shane that I was looking into, like, hey, we should get a water company sponsor. And whoops. But we'll talk about that later. We have a guest in studio today, don't we?
We do. We do. We have one of the most popular furniture movers in the world joining us in studio today. The great Adam, the Lectern Guy Johnson. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. So glad you're here, man. Tell us, what's new?
Oh, gosh, not a whole lot. On a Capital tour right now, just finished up today. Trying to get all 50, trying to catch them all like Pokemon. It was a successful run. We actually got 12 lecterns on this go through, so it was good.
You have them all here right now? Can we just like parade them through the room?
There's a bonfire out back, yeah.
Do people tense up when you walk into a Capitol? Like, uh-oh.
Every once in a while, I do get a Capitol security officer who does know who I am, but, I don't really hide it. I got a hat and a jacket,
Right.
so.
That's amazing.
Do you catch them, like, staring at you harder than, like, anybody else, or?
Sometimes I'll get an escort.
They're following you. They're like, uh-oh, we got to bolt these lecterns down. Well, you got this book out. Tell us about this book, man. It looks this book is beautiful and it feels great. It's a heavy book.
It is. I wanted to put something quality out there because they are memoirs. I think it is it's history. Whatever they say about January 6th, that is my story.
Yep.
That's what I experienced, what I went through, going to prison for misdemeanor trespassing.
It's unbelievable.
$5,000 fine and federal prison.
Yeah.
So the book I couldn't release for 5 years as part of my plea deal because the government said that I wasn't allowed to write a book and sell it. Going on podcasts, going on with Tim or anyone else, it was always out of my pocket for travel expenses. But,
That's right.
You have to go out there and you have to tell the truth because you have responsibility to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And, it's very weird now. I'm curious what you think. If you're at all surprised about 275 federal agents being at January 6th.
I think it's a low estimate.
You think? Really?
It's a low
It's a conservative number.
Well, those are the federal agents. Are we including the CIs as well? Are we including the ATF? Are we including DHS? Are we including any other agency that was there as well?
Right. I mean, we all saw not all of us, but I think a lot of people watching, a lot of us saw those videos of agitators at J6. One in particular that comes to mind is someone smashing windows and then trying to get other people there. And then the other people are like, no, don't do that. And I think that was happening quite a bit. And we also saw, what's his name, Sullivan? The guy who was there, who eventually sold his footage of J6 to like CNN. And it turns out he was actually in the Capitol waving a knife and agitating.
Yes.
It's crazy,
Crazy and orchestrator are kind of synonymous these days.
Right. Yeah. You think, and like, what happened to those guys? You think they got in trouble?
They got book deals. They got paid. That's what happened. Meanwhile, I just have a book. I'm self-published. You can get on my website. My website is called unlicensed.furnituremovers.com. It's not a joke.
That's
a joke, but
it's great. It's great. You should do a box truck tour. You should have a box truck with that name on it.
Yeah, put some fertilizer in the back,
Yeah.
drive around, see what happens.
Okay, now the drones are descending on the Inverted World studio. They will be abducting all three of us from this room.
Oh, you mean the ones that have been posted up in the exact same position
Yeah.
for several weeks now
Yeah.
outside? We were looking at them tonight,
Yeah.
for crying out loud,
We have
before
a-
Shane came into the studio.
I'm just really into community gardening. I'm not sure what you took from that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know history at all in this country.
Everything turns
gardening.
into a conspiracy on this podcast, okay?
Well,
Let's just
everything
get
is a
that out of the way.
conspiracy. Clearly, I mean, look how much crap you got for what happened at J6, and then everyone else who even who dared question the narrative of January 6th. You know, I was excommunicated from family members. I just told the story a little bit ago on IRL because I didn't think J6 was as bad as 9/11. I had family members. I was living. My grandma lived with us at the time. She had leukemia, and I was telling her this, you know, and I guess word got out. And then I had some relatives come by and have to struggle session my grandma into trying to excommunicate me from her. And I'm like, she's living with me. And I walk in on these like little whisper struggle sessions, like, I think he's an insurrectionist.
He thought about it once. That's basically,
That's
guilty.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't say enough bad things. But the book, they can find it. Say the website again.
Unlicensed.furnituremovers.com.
Incredible. It's great. I'm stoked to look at it, dude, and see it, and I want to read it and hear your take on things. And I can't believe the stuff you've been through. And the one thing I'm just now remembering that really blows my mind, the gentleman who was maybe someone who was prosecuting you.
Oh, yes.
What? Walk us through all of it. Can we go back to the beginning? Who was this guy, and then what happened?
Okay, so I was self-surrendered 2 days after January 6th to county jailhouse. Spent the weekend in isolation. Wasn't until Sunday they gave me a phone call. Apparently, I was supposed to get an hour of rec. They actually had me in one of those Epstein cells, where it's 24-hour observation.
Did the cameras go out?
Someone was looking to buy boats behind the glass. Yeah.
Jeez.
So they finally bring me to court on Monday because they always arrest you on a Friday, so you spend the week in the tank. We get there. There's a prosecutor there out of Tampa. His name is Patrick Scruggs. Patrick Scruggs, clean-cut guy, American lapel pin. They come out against you. This is the case of, the United States of America versus Adam Johnson. Very haunting thing to hear.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, very heavy, very heavy. So he called me a threat to my community. He gave me an ankle monitor, nightly restrictions. I couldn't leave the Middle District of Florida. I had to pass piss tests, even though this is a non-drug crime. I'm clean, so whatever.
Right.
But all these things. So fast forward a couple of years. I finished my sentence. I finished everything up. I'm good to go. Patrick Scruggs, one day on the Howard Franklin Bridge, was caught on camera by several bystanders, exiting his vehicle with a knife, approaching another vehicle of a passenger who was having a medical emergency, broke out the window with that knife, and proceeded to stab him on camera over and over and over again.
Did he kill him?
No. So he
Wow.
did survive. It's actually a very, very convoluted story. I'll give you the cliff notes. So after he does this, another motorist comes up to stop Patrick Scruggs, my initial prosecutor, from stabbing this man. Patrick threatens to stab that man as well. Then he goes back to the car and stabs the motorist more.
What is he thinking? What did he say?
He's a federal prosecutor. He's above the law.
What are you thinking? What is going through his mind? You're like, I need to stab this person, and as opposed to helping him.
I was going to say it's a fairly extreme response.
Well, the fact that he left his vehicle with a weapon shows intent to do harm.
Right, of course.
He used, so he actually appealed. He's in appeals right now. The judge, he tried to go for a stand your ground claim.
Oh, wow.
That this man was a danger and he might harm others with his vehicle.
Wow.
Because he caused an initial accident. So the judge's like, no, that's actually really retarded. I'm going to throw that out. Wrote a 12-page, list of why it's retarded.
Right.
So he's appealing it right now.
Wow.
This man's been walking free for almost 2.5 years
Wait,
now.
I thought he was put away.
No, he's been free the whole time. He bonded within 24 hours.
Holy crap. And you went to his trial.
I go to all of his hearings, every single one.
Such a menace. That's
I'm
amazing.
sitting there in a suit,
Good
my
for you.
lapel pin on, good
Now,
smile.
if this is anybody else, bail gets set a little bit higher than that, doesn't it? I mean, you get your usual 10%,
think?
but they tend to put, kind of beef up.
You'd think, is our justice system flawed,
Corrupt?
Lectern Guy?
I think it's cute you still call it a justice system.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's so frustrating what happened to like you guys at J6. We just had Peter Navarro on.
Yeah.
We've talked to, I think Stephen Horn is the journalist who is there.
Yep, Stephen, yep.
And like everyone has these nightmare stories of the judges basically stripping them of any proper defense.
Yep.
I mean, the same thing happened to Alex Jones too. Obviously different story altogether, but he couldn't even defend himself properly.
Yes.
Evil. Stephen Horn couldn't show that he was a reporter reporting at J6.
Steve Baker went through the same thing that worked out.
Oh yeah, Steve Baker's the man.
Now it's crazy. We hired attorneys before charges even came because I saw what's going on in the news. I called my Leo friends, called my wife, and have a good friend. His name is Jennings DePriest, really good friend of mine. He's like, I know a couple of attorneys. This guy works for Republican Party in Florida. He's like, I know some good federal attorneys. You need to get them now. So I called them Dan Eckhart and David Bickney, and they're like, yeah, you're in trouble. So we hired them, but it was to the tune of $100,000.
Wow.
For good representation.
Right.
Now, the other option is to get a court-appointed attorney out of D.C., and if you know anything about D.C. statistics, I think it's a 98% conviction rate, and they vote 96% Democrat. Good luck.
Right. You're screwed.
Jacob Chansey's lawyer came out and said, I'm representing short bus people. So that was the caliber of attorney you were getting out of D.C.
Oh, he had a DC attorney.
Uh-huh.
Yeesh.
So when I hire these high-profile attorneys, they went on with one of the Cuomo brothers, Chris. They went on Chris Cuomo when he was still working for the other hack network.
Yeah.
And he grilled my attorney saying, why does he deserve your caliber of expertise? Don't you know who you're defending?
Wow.
Like, I can't hire good attorneys.
I'm sorry. Chris Cuomo is the brother of a mass murdering freak. I lived through New York when he was doing what he did to the elderly in the nursing homes when he put the sick people in, and they were just having a good old time, him and his brother, on whatever network that was, at CNN, with the giant Q-tips and laughing away as literally thousands of people were dying. The old people were dying because of his decisions.
When he wasn't playing cannoli fingers with his female staff.
Dude, it's so evil that he got Me Too'd, and not like Nuremberg trial for what he did, and then he ran for mayor recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe he's
still
running.
going.
Yeah,
He's still
running.
going against the communists. I hope the communist wins.
New York deserves it.
They really do.
And I love New York. That is, I've lived in the city, lived in the country north of New York. I love it there. But they are voting for their own destruction.
This is Nineveh. This is Sodom and Gomorrah.
100%.
Like, you
dude.
can definitely look. And I love the story of Sodom and Gomorrah so much because there are the compassionate people who's like, look, if I can just go find one good person there, like just, was it two? I think it was two.
Right.
It's one or two. If I can find one or two good people there, where you promise not to destroy the entire city,
Right.
guys, like, you can look, but I can see it.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck. I know there's some good people in New York. I'm related to some of them. And, their lives have been completely destroyed. They can't protect themselves in
Yeah.
a completely violent city. A lot of them work for the hotel unions, and they're in the hotel trades union out there. And a lot of those hotels were literally taken up by the city and then filled with illegals. So they lost these jobs.
Yep.
Meanwhile, so they go home without money. And then the mayor, it was Eric Adams, giving out debit cards filled with money to the illegals.
They were shutting down
Deranged.
public schools and filling them up with illegals.
Yes. Yep. Yep. So they do deserve it. I love you guys out in New York. I fled because there was no saving it. And it's very sad because unfortunately, when New York City votes a certain way, it does destroy the rest of the state. In the rest of that state, there's a lot of that state that's red, very deeply red.
Upstate is beautiful.
It's amazing. I love New York. It's so beautiful, but the city ruins it, and it can be great. So back to the justice system. Like, while you're going through this whole process, are you thinking as the kids say, black-pilled on all this, or do you see that there's something that can be done to remedy just how destroyed the justice system is?
Well, Article 3 insulates federal judges in a very, very solid way. And until we actually address that and maybe change some of the lifetime appointments to, I don't know, maybe get a 6-year appointment, and then we'll revisit that.
Right.
Or
right.
maybe they should be elected officials and not officials that are just put in because of nepotism.
Installed. Yeah. When you guys listen to all the stories of what people went through in J6 and how you couldn't defend yourselves, it's completely deranged how that is even allowed to happen. But that's the norm.
Well, the white pill in me, and I try to stay positive because I got a bunch of kids, I got a great wife, And if they change who I am at the end of this, then I'm failing my family, and that means they win.
Right.
So the white pill in me says, what it did was it wake a lot of people up. And if we had to be, voluntold to be martyrs at the end of this, then so be it.
Right.
It woke a lot of people up to realize, man, things are really out of control. They could really just go after school teachers, firefighters, for showing up and asking questions, walking through open doors in a public building and going home.
Yep.
They hunted us down. They were breaking down doors, putting guns in the faces of babies, infants.
Right. I mean, there are people who didn't even go to J6 who were arrested. They weren't even there.
Enrique.
I was just exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
a friend of mine's father actually. This is a Chicago firefighter for decades. Also went to 9/11. Was one of on the Chicago dispatch to go to 9/11.
Right.
The American hero, in my opinion. He was dragged under the bus for some J6 stuff, and the media outed him publicly, locally, back home, about this and tried to defame him. And I think he was overjoyed when 47 was elected because the overturn. Basically, he got off the phone with his lawyer, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, is everything good? And he's like, it's all thrown out.
Right.
He's like, absolutely relieved,
Well, the pardons were necessary, but I am skeptical about blanket pardons for a handful of reasons. One, when you blanket pardon everyone, it means everyone did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I still think hitting cops is bad. You're not going to convince me that's ever a good thing to do.
Sure.
But the sentences they were receiving were unjust. So definitely these people need to go home. They need to go home to their families. That's not the status quo. We need to make sure they're back home to their families.
Right.
What you also do is there are people who were charged with being violent who weren't violent at all.
Great point.
And they can't appeal their case because they're pardoned.
Weren't
they
they
can't
kind of-
go in and get discovery and show like, no, I didn't strike a cop. I patted him on the back and said, good job. And that was a charge of assaulting a police officer.
And weren't
now
they
can't
kind
appeal
of
these things.
They were struggle sessioned into saying those things. Like I think they were saying, if I get the story right, like if you just say you did this, we'll give you such and such time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
So they had to admit to something they didn't do.
Yes. So so the federal government, they will overcharge so they can plead down. And that's how they have that high conviction rate.
Right.
They will bring, the 1512C, which was the impeding an official proceeding at a federal level. That was ruled to be not a real charge by the Supreme Court a couple of years ago. It made a lot of felons not felons anymore.
Right.
But they'll bring these charges and then plea down.
Right.
I did 16 or 17 hours worth of proffers with the FBI, being grilled for hour after hour about who I knew and where I came from.
What were they thinking? Could you tell that they had some idea in mind of you being a part of something bigger, a bigger conspiracy?
Well, they took everything from me. They took desktops, cell phones, they took social medias. I mean, my life was completely open up in front of them.
Wow.
And what they found when they went and asked my neighbors, when they went and asked the churches that I work for, is he's a nice guy. I'd let him watch my kids and my dog.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't care.
Not a single neighbor, after being grilled by news reporters and the FBI, had one negative thing to say about me. Not one negative story came out from my friends, even my ex-wife.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
Like, even my
Shocking.
ex-wife is like, yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, just...
Rare. Shout out to the one awesome ex-wife out there. Real quick, hey, thank you, the SIG P220 for the super chat. Tim Walls just signed driver's license for all in Minnesota. When asked if this meant illegals could vote now, and they applauded yes. Is that surprising to anybody?
No, and I read about that earlier.
Wow.
There's a whole loophole involved in that to where you are actually allowed to cast a ballot without being a U.S. citizen for having one of these licenses.
The last time I voted in New York, they didn't ask for an ID, and I asked them, like, you don't want my ID? They're like, no, why? They looked at me like I was retarded for saying I should have an ID. And they're like, no, we don't need that. That's outdated. Who does that anymore? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, this is a bend around of the voter ID laws to help keep illegal immigrants having the ability to cast ballots in one way or another. This one almost makes it completely legal, if not
course.
does.
I'm just glad that black people can finally get a license.
Do they know how
This is-
to use the internet?
I don't think they do.
I've heard from Joe Biden that they don't know what computers are.
They don't.
So are they giving them free computers now? How is this working?
I hope so. I really do.
Every black person out there needs a free computer from the government so you can finally get those directions to the DMV.
Yes.
Because it is difficult. And that's, I saw it in the news, so it must be true. And the president said it. The corpse that we had in the White House for 4 years said it, so it must
And
be
he wasn't
fact.
wrong about anything.
Never.
He's got cancer now.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. But is it even him who has cancer, Adam? How many clones have we had of Mr. Biden? Well, speaking of craziness, and that made me think of Hunter Biden saying that meth is actually a very clean drug. You were talking about sobriety.
Not for your teeth, but everything else.
So you were telling me earlier you're 2 weeks clean now. You were from drinking, not meth.
Not meth.
Not meth.
I'm never
I want to make that
up.
clear. It's not meth. So what's going on? How'd you get there, and how you feeling?
So it's been 15 or 16 days now, and I went through January 6th, and I always enjoyed a good single malt. I have a huge collection at the house, and it got to the point where I was drinking every day after this, and I wasn't like a terrible dad or a bad husband. I kind of checked out because
Right.
the weight of everything.
I'm sure.
And I went through all my stuff. I was sober in prison, so I did have a little stint there, which was nice. And I got out, I started right back up, and it got to be almost a bottle a day.
Wow.
And I was just falling asleep and missing out on some of my life.
Right.
And I woke up one day and I realized, I can say that I'm a good husband, I can say I'm a good father, but my actions of not being here because I'm drinking myself into an early grave,
Right.
Don't show that. So I woke up one day and I'm like, I just don't think I'm gonna do that anymore.
Great.
So
Congrats.
I just quit, and I feel great, man.
That's amazing.
It feels it's a big burden just gone.
Yeah, I know. I have an Irish family, so the cliches are true. At least in my family, and I grew up with a lot of that. Real bad in certain ways, Not so much my dad, but he was. He's still with us. I'm saying was as in he was an alcoholic. He would say he still is, because he's in the program. But he hasn't had a sip in 30 years. So when he was in his rough spot, I don't remember it. I was so young. But I'm grateful that he made that decision to stop, because the family would have ended.
It ran rampant through my family.
Oh,
It
dude,
made
it's
everybody
brutal.
incredibly violent. Holidays meant people boxing that were blood
Right.
relatives,
Right.
Well,
which
we're still gonna box.
equals
yeah.
us all going home early,
won't stop.
turkeys
Yeah.
getting burned, people drugging out,
Yep.
and it was just terrible to see, for as a kid, and all my cousins and stuff. I was probably one of the older ones usually that had to watch it, but it was just like, it sucked watching your family be torn apart by this.
Mm-hmm.
And I always swore, I'll never get that bad. Well, then I got a full-time job doing IT and just general customer service over the phone, where you are absolutely berated, just pounded on, beaten to shit verbally every single day, day in and day out. And just get back on the phone, get back on the phone, get back on the phone. I did that for so long that I developed going to the bar after work syndrome,
Yeah.
which is I can't wait to get the hell out of here and go have a beer or 12.
Yep.
And completely forget about this until I have to go back to work the next day. You fall into a cycle. The next thing you know, you've been drinking for 3 years.
Yep.
I went through that too. And if you could say beer doesn't count all you goddamn want to. I will drink beer until the damn sun comes up, and that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Like, sure, it's delicious. We all love beer. Having a beer is great. I like a single malt too. Absolutely delicious. But realistically, like, when you're coating yourself in this shit,
Yeah.
it brings destructive, violent properties. It tears people apart.
And it's just not good for you. Did you feel like a darkness is lifted? Like, did you, maybe not while you're in it, you could notice the darkness? Or were you like trying to just ignore that there was a thing there?
I think when we talk about I do. I'm a Christ believer. I'm a Christ follower. I grew
Yeah.
up in church, and I don't currently attend church, but I do read my Bible. I do pray. I'm a believer, and I do think that addiction is a form of possession. And I think when we talk about possession, demons, things like this, you always think it's going to be like this, like a Conjuring type thing, or
Right.
Amityville Horror. But there's subtlety to it.
Of course.
There's subtlety to addiction, where it is your best friend. It is the thing that's there for you when you're having a bad day. You're having an argument with your wife, or the car broke down. There's well, hey, I'm here. I can make things better, right?
Yep.
And when you try to leave those people, it's when you really do believe like that is a possession. I was possessed by that thing. That thing
Yeah.
did control me.
Yep.
And when you recognize that, I don't know. I feel a massive weight lifted.
That's great, man.
And it wasn't, I'm not in a program. I'm not, I got a guy that I talked to on this trip because it's my first trip alone, not drinking. And I talked to him every single night. Nice guy. Hey, thanks for answering.
Yeah.
But, the desire's gone.
That's great. It can be so destructive. And I used to make fun of like the phrase a gateway drug, and thinking about that. But it is, a lot of these things can be, in terms of like you're doing this one thing, you're kind of feeling like it's just a medicinal thing for you to get through the end of the day, a rough day, the stuff you went through. But it does, and I think of it as possession and demons as well, especially with drugs and anything that is separating you from God. Yeah. And making you, even though we're trying our best and still being our best father, best as we can as a father and a husband, there's this thing over here that's like almost like a tumor, and you're just like, I'm falling back on it. This is my routine. You fall into it. But the problem is not just the drinking and all that stuff and what it does to your body and what it can do to people around you and the time you're missing out on, but it can lead to other things,
Absolutely.
And it doesn't always, but like that term, the gateway drug, as much as I made fun of it, I just said it last night. I talked about the C.S. Lewis book, Screw Tape Letters.
Great book.
And that's kind of like what they're doing is the gateway drug situation where it's like, we're going to whisper these things. It starts out here and we're going to keep escalating until it's really bad. And that is how I feel about, I think that's kind of like a blueprint, how he wrote that for life.
For sure. I think a big part of recovering, if you're in a program, work the program, if you're, find a way, but I think my biggest part was calling it exactly what it is. Like recognizing like it is exactly that. It is nothing else.
Yeah.
And I can either succumb to that or I could be a conqueror of it. And Christ tells me I'm a conqueror. So
Yeah,
I think
right.
I don't need that anymore.
Incredible, man. Well, I'm happy for you on that, dude. Where do we go? Like, I want to know, that's what I was going to get into probes, but we're not there just yet. It's too early. It's too early for probes. The first time we met, you told me about that story with that crazy house.
Yeah.
Can we hear about that?
For sure. So this is during COVID. The wife and I were going on an anniversary trip. The plan was to go to California, go down, to West Coast and see, was it Big Sur? I think it's Big Sur.
Okay.
It's a whole drive, right?
Yep.
But COVID happens and we're not going to California because we're not vaccinated. So we fly into Reno instead. We're like, we'll pop into Lake Tahoe, then we'll drive down to Vegas. We'll rent a sports car, go through the valley. It'll be great.
Sick.
So we do all these things, and halfway in between Reno and Las Vegas is a little town called Topanol, like right in the middle, 4 hours in. Now, I book all the hotels, and I tell her, hey, it's this old mining town. They got like an old school bank. The hotel, it's inside the hotel, historic museum. It's great. We'll go there. What I don't tell her is that it is also the #1 haunted house or hotel in the U.S.
Nice.
I failed to mention that. So,
Surprise!
It got the #1 stargazing out there. It's going to be romantic. So we make our drive. We're in this bright red Dodge Challenger doing 150 through the desert.
Great.
We pull up to the hotel, and she's like, oh, this is so cute. It's going to be great. Well, the car stalls out right in front of the hotel. Brand new car just dies.
Wow.
Like to a rolling stop, just dies. Can't start the car back up, so I put it in park. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll go inside from here. So we walk inside, and she's like, this is nice. We go to check in, and the clerk says, welcome to the Mizpah Hotel, America's most haunted hotel. My wife gives me the look like, this is the end of us. I'm going to find my own hotel. And the issue is she couldn't because the only other hotel in that town is the famous Clown Motel, like two blocks up the road.
Love that part of the story.
The only
it's
thing,
so
in my
funny.
opinion, that could have possibly been worse than booking a ghost hotel would have been booking a clown hotel.
Oh, there were cop cars out in front of it, like a slew of them when we drove in. I'm like, okay, I made the right call.
T. Corbett says, sounds like a Dodge.
It wasn't, yeah, exactly, yeah. So we go in there, and Sue's like, I'm not staying here. And I'm like, well, we got to stay here. I paid for the room. There's nowhere else. I'll take you to the clown place if you want. She's like, whatever. But you got to get me drunk. So we get our room key, and we go to the hotel. We go to the elevator, old elevator. You need like a service key to go down to the basement where the laundry and stuff is. So we hit the second floor. We want to stay in the room the murders happened, because if you're going to stay in a haunted hotel, you stay in that room.
Of course.
Well, the elevator takes us down to the service floor, just right away. And the doors open up, and there's like these two people doing laundry, like 30 yards away. So they didn't press a button, and they're looking at us like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "It just took us here." So it stops on every single floor on the way up to the second floor.
Beautiful.
So for a second, we finally get off. We get into the room, and Susie's just not having it. She's like, "We need to get out of here right now. I need a drink. Get me some food. Let's go see some stars." So we go do all that. And we come back and we go to bed that night. And somewhere around 2:00 in the morning, I was woken up and I heard someone breathing in the room. And it's not Susie. She's sound asleep, but it's this audible, just like wet, heavy, like in the room. Goes on for a couple of minutes. I think maybe it's the HVAC system. Then the HVAC system kicks on.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, so it wasn't that then.
great.
Yeah. So took some NyQuil, went to bed, and we got the hell out of there in the morning.
You just ignored it.
Exactly.
Just
NyQuil.
ignore it. Just ignore it. That's amazing. I wonder what the Yelp reviews are like for that hotel.
I didn't look into them,
Yeah.
but I do recommend stopping by if you're driving from Reno to Vegas.
That is crazy. So growing up, you grew up Christian?
I did.
What we talk about this a lot on the show, and I'm still not really sure how I feel about it, but like, what was your take, or what is your take on ghosts, demons, aliens through the Christian lens?
Well, through a Christian lens, well, I do think, okay, is the universe as large as the universe that we believe it to be? I guess we gotta, oh God, how do we do this? Okay, so I don't think the Earth is millions of years old.
I don't either.
There.
I'm young. I'm a young Earth guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I do think we're somewhere probably in 10 to 25,000 range.
I think it's a
if
liberal number.
What's that?
I think that's a liberal number.
Okay.
Not politically liberal, but I
Okay.
think it's more like 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that. Okay.
But I don't know. Who am I?
I have questions. I have concerns. I mean, the firmament's a big concern of mine if we want to dive into there. But
Yep.
so I'm not really sure about alien life forms. I think maybe they're misconstrued with demons. I do think they are here. I've seen real possession in real life. I've seen it turn people's lives upside down. I've seen people cut off their genitals and say that the thing they weren't born to be.
Yeah,
and if
seriously.
that's not possession, then what is?
Totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, I'm still kind of like thinking about. I'm having since become a Christian. I've been looking back at everything I once thought about the world, in terms of like what you're like the age of the Earth, but then extraterrestrials, ghosts, all those things. And we were just talking recently about how some people say it's all demons.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's all demons. I also believe in angels,
Sure.
and then you have to distinguish, what is what, because the demons pretend to be good, to slip into your brain and make you do bad things. But I just love that conversation and hearing different people's takes on it, because everyone's got a different take. We had an exorcist on the show, and he's seen some crazy stuff, and some of it is kind of like a movie for him. What he's like with the vomiting and the screaming. I do believe in possession, big time. It can be, just like what you're talking about with the gender, like mutilating yourself.
Yeah.
But it comes in all forms. So it's fascinating to see the world through that now.
Well, whether you're an atheist or a believer, whether you believe it exists or not, there are people who do believe it exists. There are evil people who do believe it exists, and
Yeah.
they sacrifice children in Haiti.
100%.
My wife did a mission trip down there, and there was a girl they were going to sacrifice at the end of the week, and like everyone in town knew this was going to happen.
My goodness.
And they ended up there was a woman that ended up like paying for her freedom and adopted that girl.
Okay.
But-
Hopefully not Hillary Clinton.
Well,
You know what I mean, right?
well, hopefully the kid likes islands.
Oh,
Yeah, beaches.
Dude, Haiti's a demonic playground for the demons from this country.
It absolutely is. And you also look at some of these African countries where they experience a revival because they have missionaries going there, and you see evil fighting. Like you see it fighting when it's losing ground.
Yeah.
And the way I talk about how we perceive it, maybe the U.S. is, we are so complacent with evil, we're so comfortable being around it, that possession doesn't have to look like the things in the movies.
Right.
There are walking zombies everywhere.
Yeah.
And maybe the reason we don't recognize it so much is because it's just so normal to us that we don't equate those things as abnormal.
Right. I mean, we've walked around D.C. we see how these people act. These people in their suits and that work in the Capitol. It's not a left-right thing. I think it exists on both sides. I think it's all over the place, and it's an issue for sure. Before we get to callers, something else I want to ask you about, having gone through what you've gone through, were you at all paranoid about the government before all this? And Did it make you more paranoid after? I was born paranoid for whatever reason. Like, how do you operate through the world now, having been through that? And then, you have a presence online. I believe a lot of people online are fake and possibly feds. Like, how do you feel about all that now?
Going into it, I mean, I'd listened to a handful of podcasts for a couple of years. I mean, but again, I grew up in church, but my parents were also in the arts. So I got both sides of the coin. Like, you know, I was hanging out with theater kids on a Wednesday nights, you know, and Sunday school kids on a Sunday morning. So I was pretty center of the road. I mean, libertarian most of my life. And going through this process, I mean, I don't think that I'm any more or less paranoid. I think I'm just more aware and more cognizant.
Yeah.
Of, you know, I know when I'm being followed. I know when someone is asking me questions. You know, it's not for the reason they're asking questions. They're leading questions.
Yeah.
We had a handful of dates that the wife and I went on while I was being prosecuted, where we met more people from D.C. who were, you know, just happened to be at our date nights and at our hotels, you know, than we'd ever met before in our lives.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And that is not like a unique thing. Yeah. This happens.
One of them was we were seeing J.P. Sears at a comedy club in Sarasota, and there was a young couple about our age sitting next to us, and they're like, "Oh, we're from D.C., just in town to see J.P. Sears." Like, so you're from D.C. seeing J.P. Sears? This is not making sense to me whatsoever. So my wife, who is also she's very observant, we both look at each other like we both understand what's going on. So I look at the couple, I'm like, "Where'd you guys meet?" "Same time," and they just sat there, just like. They didn't work out their backstory.
This is a good lesson, everybody. That's good. That's good. Yeah, because I do think that's happening, and it's happening a lot more, I think, now than ever. You know, we've been talking about this. They call it the signature reduction army. Have you heard about that?
No.
It's a Pentagon thing. 60,000 that we know of people who basically have aliases to become who knows what, influencers, pundits, just random people at a warehouse, and they work. We don't really know what they do. There's a great Newsweek article about it, and that article might be 4 or 5 years old now, but like that's just one aspect. You know, we talk about COINTELPRO and like all that kind of stuff, and I think it's crazy. You know, like I said, I was always paranoid, but then you get into like the media world, and you're this close to DC, and you're like, man, it is. And then you start reading a lot more about the COINTELPRO and what they did to people, and what they did to J6ers, and how they weaponized the government against the American people. It's terrifying stuff, man. But yeah, you should look into the signature reduction stuff. It's insane.
Oh, I was at a James O'Keefe party a few months ago, and I got a message from 3 people like, you should be aware there are at least 2 honeypot people there tonight. We know who they are. And I'm like, well, good thing I'm happily married.
Yeah.
So
that's a great thing.
Be a problem.
Yeah, it's a great thing. God bless that. That's incredible. Well, Brandon, let's get to some callers, shall we?
Yeah, we could do that.
Guys, call in. Tell us your stories. While we do that, we have everyone here from IRL. Thank you for joining us. We are here with the Lectern Guy, Adam Johnson. While we're waiting for that call, tell the people again where they can find your book.
Oh, my book is called Taking a Stand, and you can find it on my website, unlicensed.furnituremovers.com. If you order in the next 2 weeks, I can guarantee a signature.
Awesome. I love it. And you will be moving furniture with that's your new business. I'm going to country.
I applied to be a licensed furniture mover in DC. I'm still not approved yet.
And that's why people are showing up in random places.
I did some side work and moving for a little bit. It wasn't too bad.
I did it for 10 years.
A lot of traveling, man.
I drove a box truck for 10 years and moved furniture all around Connecticut, New Jersey, New York.
OKC.
Yeah.
I got to do like a full 26,000 pound Allied trailer one time, and it was nuts. It was like 2 people's houses in one trailer, and we had to do two separate moves. I think it was like Ohio, and the other one was like 8 hours from there somewhere, Connecticut or some shit.
I liked moving furniture. I liked being like different places every day. You know, it was a fun job to talk to different people.
Well, that's why touring was great.
Exactly. Very similar.
Less moving furniture and more moving gear.
Yeah.
You know, I was fine with that. You know, break somebody's table, you're going to get bitched at. You break your own symbol, you're the one bitching at yourself. You know, I appreciate that more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, anyone who follows me know I'm always traveling. I'm always somewhere else.
Yeah.
I love being home, but I get so stir crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling's great.
It doesn't take me very long before I get hay fever, and I'm just like, I need to get out of here.
I prefer driving.
So with the kids, once a year, we always fly into a state and we do at least a 24-hour drive across states through
Oh, cool.
national parks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be in Tennessee in November.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
I love Tennessee. Yeah, we like to drive. You know, we fly, but flying right now.
You saw that AI is now going to be customizing your airfare?
What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. So based on your individual needs, I think Delta's rolling it out. I don't fly Delta anymore. So based on your profile, they're going to set a price point for you.
Social credit score.
So I'm a little bougie. I like flying first. I like the big chair. And it's mostly because I don't want to sit next to people and have a conversation. There's like these dividers and it's great.
Yeah, yep.
And because of who I am, I have one or two conversations with people and I'd rather have one than the other. But the places I fly into, it's usually...
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's via Getty.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it weird that you came here for a conversation? Okay. Because there's three of us. It's almost like we're sitting on here. It looks like we're sitting in a row on a plane. So you're actually.
They don't know we're on a plane this whole time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're
Snakes.
actually in the drone.
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on the plane.
Yeah, that guy's not real over there.
Samuel L. Jackson is here somewhere.
Brother Shogo 8222 said flying is ghetto now. I mean, it's not great. I've not done it in some months now because I just couldn't take it anymore. It was horrible.
Didn't get ground service in Atlanta once. And this was like a year ago, and it was just the worst.
Just even the process of getting to the plane. Like, it's horrible. And no one seems to know how to do their jobs anymore. Everyone's outsourcing their job to a machine. And if you dare ask someone for help, they're like, the machine's right there. I'm like, I hate the machine, though.
You got a tag in your own bags now?
Yeah.
Oh,
What the
yeah.
heck?
Oh,
They
yeah.
should pay us to do all this work. My goodness.
I make sure to tip myself when I check my own bag.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good. Everyone out there should be doing that.
Yeah, 20%, guys. Remember, treat yourself. It's fine.
Are we having YouTube problems? People are talking about YouTube issues. I guess Tim was having.
I have
earlier.
not seen a YouTube issue yet.
Okay.
YouTube was going off the rails earlier, almost like the quote-unquote AI units that we were referring to yesterday on the show. But from what I can see, I think there's probably still issues. Kellen was reporting some stuff, but again, guys, if anything happens on YouTube, just pop over to Rumble. It's not behind the paywall. Just look us up over there. Watch the show there. It's fine.
right.
But otherwise, I think we're okay.
I don't know what happened in the chat, but everyone's talking about Greta now.
Greta Thunberg?
I'm assuming. What did I miss?
I can't
America's
remember the
favorite
name.
Downey.
I can't remember the name. I'm, and Renee, you're probably going to have to remind me, but somebody in here has pledged his undying fealty to Greta Thunberg.
Okay. Well, you do know Peter Thiel said she's the Antichrist, so
All I know is she's overqualified for the chromosome Olympics.
that's amazing. You should make a shirt that says that.
That was good. All right. Synchro, I'm going to bring you on, dude, because we didn't get to you yesterday. Hopefully your
do it.
internet's working. Let's find out what's up.
Beautiful.
Synchrotron 9001. Was it Melvin? Okay, cool. Thank you, Renee. I knew that.
Pickpool says there's many walking zombies in California. I've seen them. They're not just in California.
I was in California, in Ontario, California, 2 years ago with the Babylon Bee, and it took me all of 20 minutes to find a pile of human shit.
That's it?
20
Amazing.
minutes, yeah.
Did you report it on
Well,
the
it
app?
was mine, so just took some time to work up the courage in front of Walgreens.
That's what when in Rome.
Well, Synchro is not
Synchronizing. He says he's trying,
I need Synchro to sync with our
but
Zoom.
it's not connecting.
We'll give him a second.
Someone said he looks younger. I think they're talking about you.
They are.
You?
I got
'Cause
the.
you shaved.
Yeah, I'm getting the baby face
I know
action.
it's not
in
me.
there.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Botox is not helping anymore.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say I went a little overboard today and hit a section that I wasn't supposed to hit.
Oh, is that what happened?
So it's like, and then I was like, I don't like it anymore, and it's just gone. So
Perfect.
it's fine. It'll be back in like a week. Everybody relax. So I look
Same
like
thing
I'm
happened with the
25,
cyclist
whatever.
earlier.
I honestly don't mind getting carded these days. Being almost 40 years old sucks. So,
No,
like, when I get
great.
stopped and they ask me for my ID, I'm like, oh, you are so nice. Let me see yours because I'm pretty sure you're younger than me. And they're just like, blah, 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 blah. And then they look at my ID and they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's real.
I hit
Can you guys hear me?
bro.
Hey, there he is. What's up, man?
Hey.
Welcome.
So I wanted to finish up my talk about CERN, about that dream that I had that I didn't get to all of it.
Yes.
Okay, so to kind of recap this, when I was 12 years old, I theorized the Planck length, and I didn't realize that this was a thing until like my early 20s. And then when I was 15, I had a dream about this sphere of nothing that would expand in all directions at the speed of light and destroy the universe. And it turns out that that's also a real thing. It's called vacuum decay. So in the dream, I actually looked at the device. I got to see it for a couple of seconds. It's a half sphere. It looked like it was covered in what I thought were exhaust pipes at that time. I found out since that they do a lot of cryogenics at CERN, and it was a bunch of tubing with 15 and 45 degree angles. So like it was cryogenic tubing. If you look up the main building of CERN, it's actually a half sphere. The main building of CERN is just this like dome looking thing.
Yeah. So the cryogenic stuff is crazy. I mean, I wonder, do we know what exactly they're doing with that there outside of trying to suck Earth into a portal?
The cryogenics is for superconductivity, so that they can get the electrical conductivity of some of the parts up.
Right, right. So have you any new thoughts on CERN? Have you found anything new in your research that connects to your dream?
I wanted to bring up the Shiva statue. Could you put that in the thumbnail of the other picture of the other video? And I forgot to bring that up. So if you look at that statue, it's got that like ring around it with all the little flames that are pointing like out to like signify a fire that spreads in all directions. Like they totally know what they're doing. They're going for this thing on purpose. The logo has 666 in the logo.
In what? In CERN?
Yeah, CERN's old logo. So they changed it and they put in like a fourth one, I think. But it's supposed to be so the way that the particle colliders work, it's a ring, but then it's also got this line that feeds in the particles into it. So that whole system looks like a 6.
You're right.
There is the theory that they're trying to open a portal directly to hell, and that's what it's really for.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if I buy into it, but what do you think?
I do. I mean, they had weird satanic rituals there.
Well,
Like
the Nazis
weird.
tried, so it's not
For sure.
Yeah.
They were very occultish, you know, like they were very much trying to connect to ancient lower G gods. They were obsessed with that. And that's why they're taking lots of meth, as one does when you're trying to communicate with the old occult. But I forgot all about this 666 CERN logo. It's crazy. Brandon, can you pull it up to show people? If you just search like CERN 666 logo.
I was going to say, what I just searched CERN and 666. Let's see what happens.
That'll do it.
Nothing bad could ever come from doing something like that, right?
No. What else? What else is on your mind when it comes to beautiful CERN?
CERN ritual.
Okay,
host.
so I'm gonna paste a word into chat. So this has never happened to me before or after this dream. So I actually came up with the word in the dream to describe this thing. It's called the cosmic maninilator. So maninilator is a portmanteau of miniature and annihilator, but that's not even the crazy part about it. The crazy part about it is that it's an anagram, a perfect anagram of the phrase, I'm on Ritalin, and I had just started taking Ritalin. I had just been prescribed it the same year that I had this dream.
Well, the word came from the dream?
The word, I came up with the word in the dream, and then it turns out that it's a portmanteau of miniature and annihilator, which is what the device is going to do. And it's also an anagram of I'm on Ritalin, which I had just started taking. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
Yeah, that's wild. So when it comes to this machine, do you feel like they're going to be trying to do this something like that soon? Is it already underway? What's your take on that?
According to what Hawking said, the particle collider large enough to do this would actually need to be the size of the Earth. I brought up Halo last time, so I don't think they're close to it yet. But they're definitely going for it, and they could always find some way to make this device more efficient, so that it doesn't actually take one that large.
We've got the 666 old CERN logo up there. They love hiding symbols for the people like this. And what are you thinking, Brandon?
I'm thinking I'm 555.
Are you Slipknot?
And CERN is 666.
Nice. Good Slipknot callback.
I had to go there.
Yep.
I had to go there.
For all our new metal fans.
I mean, this is it's like, yeah, sure, but at the same time, like, really, I don't know if I'm buying the hidden one on this one, But I can see where people can be skeptic, you know, based off of the sort of stuff that I'm seeing is being reported as being done at CERN.
Like, of all the things, they had to choose that.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
run with
mean,
this.
yeah, I mean, again, so you got two round kind of looking areas. I get it, particle collider, right? You know, different entry points and stuff. But yeah, like, it probably took somebody all of 5 minutes to break that down and turn that into a demonic symbol hoax. So,
Adam, you got any thoughts on CERN?
I wish they'd stop.
Yes.
I
Same.
wish they'd stop.
and Wiki actually has the CERN ritual hoax here, of all terrible places for it to be, where it actually does outline mockery of existing conspiracy theories, which suggests CERN aims to use Large Hadron Collider to create a portal to hell.
Yeah, Wikipedia says anyone who criticizes CERN is actually the Antichrist.
Oh, no
taking
way.
a page out of Peter Thiel's book.
Can the Antichrist call other people the Antichrist?
Yeah.
That'd be something that the real Antichrist would do,
Yeah,
right? Is
I
accuse
think
somebody
so.
else of being the Antichrist.
I think so.
Does that make sense?
But
Yeah.
there would be many antichrists.
Right.
So
Right.
Revelation does talk about that.
Right. And a few other places in the Bible, right? Maybe, is it Daniel?
Daniel had visions as well, yeah.
Yeah. And what we see in Revelation is very much like I think what we see in Daniel in terms of the beast and what the beast does. But yeah, it's not the Antichrist. It's an Antichrist. There's a system of them. And Peter Thiel, I don't know if you saw this story, but he was talking recently about how he believes people who want regulation for AI and people who critique AI are actually, and these are his words, legionnaires of the Antichrist.
Oh.
So, welcome to Inverted World Live, where we are legionnaires. I am not. I reject that thesis.
I'm just happy to be a part of something. It's really
It's been a while.
to belong.
It's been 5 years since you were part of a real, strong community. Welcome to the new one.
So, Synchro, what do you think they're going to do with this thing? I mean, what's the ultimate goal with CERN here?
I think that they actually do worship Satan. They're a bunch of Satan worshipers, and they want to destroy the underlying fabric of the universe, and it will cause the extinction of every species on Earth within about 1/10 of a second, and it will then cause the extinction of every other species in the universe.
So, what you're saying is, back up 3-Eye Atlas, we should be worried about this.
3 Atlas is nothing. I don't
Not
think
according to everyone else.
Not according to Avi Loeb. But
3-Eye Atlas is going to be here sooner than you think.
I put
It's-
way more stock into CERN being a death machine.
I feel like at this point I
3-Eye
probably
Atlas.
would be too.
It's always bothered me. Ever since I found out about it over a decade ago, it's always really upset me. This is before I had faith, before I was really considering God. I'm like, that is not a good thing. Why are you doing that? And then it's like, that's not the only one. CERN gets a lot of the criticism from me, but they're here in this country. They're building a new one beneath North Dakota. So,
That
I mean,
sounds
Fermi Lab, you know a little bit about that.
Just a bit.
They're around. We've had Dr. Stuckelberger on here. She lives above CERN, and she's got some really wild ideas on how it's affecting people's health. I mean, obviously, I think that's fairly obvious to think a particle accelerator might have some consequences for the locals. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think we don't have to pull it up now. We pulled it up a while ago, actually, when Dr. Stuckelberger was on the show. But if you haven't seen the weird dancing rituals that they've done at CERN opening ceremonies.
You know, I actually, one of the guys in my fantasy league actually works at Argonne.
Which one's that?
In Illinois. That's the other one that wasn't Fermi Lab, which is the one I worked at.
Okay.
He works at Argonne, which is the one with all the caves
Ooh.
that we were talking about. So maybe I got to reach out to him and see if he's noticed any weird satanic shit
Yeah,
going
get him on the show. He can call in anonymously.
He's
dancing
gonna
ceremony.
have to be
What?
sober before he does that. But
Okay.
that's a whole
Fair
different.
enough.
We'll tackle
Fair enough.
that.
We can work
later.
on that.
There's a dancing ceremony.
You mind pulling it up, Brandon? If you go to YouTube and search CERN opening ceremony,
it
I
looks
forget which
demonic.
one. Yeah, there's a few.
Is it
Well,
line-
I was gonna say
is it
I've
line
seen different
dancing?
ones.
It's that guy who went viral, who's doing the country dancing.
It's a bunch of people doing Gangnam Style.
That was ushering in the Antichrist as well. Early viral Antichrist.
Well, they say
digital-wise.
too. There's like a Shiva statue outside of this place.
Yeah, you
and
can look
why
at
the
that as
hell
well.
is it there? And all of this stuff. Hang on, let's do this ceremony thing first, 'cause I'm kind of curious. I've seen stuff about this. I think it was a
Synchro,
hoax.
I'm glad that you're out there talking about this stuff though, because it is honestly something that does worry me. I don't think we should be toying with that stuff. I talk about the cloud seeding quite a bit, but CERN is crazy to me, and all particle accelerators. I don't understand why we have to be doing this stuff. Can't be good. And there were major lawsuits against CERN when it opened. There were legit physicists who said they were going to open a black hole that would destroy Earth. That was in a court.
Okay, so one of these is called mock human sacrifice at CERN.
There is that too. Yeah.
So that's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about the one where like the dude put on like the baby thing and flew around with like the wings and
That's
stuff,
one of
right?
them. Yeah, but there is the mock human sacrifice is real.
The fact that
Pull
I'm even
up.
seeing more than one of these is really making me
I think the
uncomfortable.
mock human sacrifice happens at the statue, if I'm not.
Yeah, it's right. I'm looking at. It's right in front of the Shiva statue.
Let's show everybody. This one really.
This is just
this
is just a still shot that we're going to
Okay.
show from everyone's favorite, The Guardian.
Yes, the trusted guardian.
This is a. This is what they're claiming was a hoax
Right.
ritual taking place outside. This ties into the whole CERN is opening a portal to hell thing.
Right.
But apparently this was a hoax, not an actual, But you can see the Shiva statue here, very prominent. This does look like something out of a Netflix series. But again, listed as a hoax, so we'll see.
Sure.
What else do we have?
We feel like the only group of people who aren't invited to Bohemian Grove. Like, you guys are a little too weird for us.
Yeah.
Like,
That might be
take
the
drugs.
elite. That's the elite version.
I was gonna
maybe.
say, well, that or that. There's like, oh, these guys aren't serious enough.
Right. Right. They're just waiting for the.
No, you guys are
invitation.
candy shop bullshit.
Yep.
Like, no, we're big leagues up here. We actually sacrifice kids out here, so toughen up, Buttercup.
Seriously. It's demonic. Well, let's pull up the dancing. There's a few different ones, but let's just pull up any of them.
That's the thing is, I don't know what I'm seeing.
The one that's
This is like this doesn't even look real to me. I'm gonna put this picture up just out of.
Cisco 4953 says it's not satanic. It's we should turn your brain off.
What the hell
No,
is
bro.
this? I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's real at all, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this is from one of them. They've had multiple. There's some that happen in the tunnel. I think the one in the tunnel is the weirder
Switzerland
one.
tunnel. Yeah,
It's like a modern version of Icarus or something.
Yeah.
dude.
Yep.
I don't even know
Yep.
what the hell to call
Like
that.
like maybe you shouldn't fly close to the sun.
The sun. Yeah.
CERN, literally trying to make a
Flying
big
too
bang.
close to the CERN.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey,
that's
hey,
Good. That's good.
He's
merch.
running it.
That's new inverted.
Now,
word
hang
merch.
on. This kind of looks almost similar to somebody that we know.
Uh-oh.
Is that kind of close to the costume you wore?
No.
Oh,
that's,
that's not me.
That's not. Don't confuse those two. Don't confuse those two. That Jacob is suing the president. As
For
last I heard.
$40 trillion?
Why is that happening?
Because he's the rightful president.
That's right. That is happening. That is happening.
So there's nothing creepy about this at all. You
yeah.
guys, you could look at this for hours and not find anything creepy about this, in my opinion. I think
That's
this-
Jared Leto, right?
Must
This
be.
at the Met Gala?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's just Jared Leto at the
No,
Met
but
Gala.
I kind of
you're
assume
right.
that this is what Jared Leto's father must have been like in order to produce Jared Leto in the first place.
Nice. Jared Leto actually purchased the large CIA compound in Laurel Canyon, where they filmed at least 30,000 propaganda films in the 50s and 60s. It's called Mountain Overlook Observatory, and I've driven by a few times. It's huge. There's a lot of weird theories. Like a lot of people think they filmed the moon landing there, but eventually Jared Leto bought it.
So
I wonder what that's
are
about.
are we not getting like Baphomet vibes from this
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
scenario here? I
course.
mean, Synchro, I'm kind of on your side here, man. Like this is looking pretty devilish to me.
Yeah, it's definitely looking devilish. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the origin story of the game Doom and Half-Life both involve high energy experiments that went wrong, and Doom, of course, actually did open a portal to hell.
That's right. Oh man, Synchro, what else you have for us? What else do you have going on about CERN or anything else?
I wanted to shout out my YouTube channel. My name, Synchrotron 9001. So a synchrotron is a particle accelerator, and 9001 is the Dragon Ball Z name of its over 9,000. So my name is like an Easter egg for this thing of
Incredible.
a particle collider over 9,000 kilometers. That's the whole reason I even made this YouTube channel. I have a video about this on my YouTube channel. It's just a little under 6 minutes long. I'm going to post the title of it in chat. I would appreciate it if everybody would watch it.
Awesome. Awesome. Please do, man. We appreciate hearing from you again, and you know where to find us.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for being here.
All right. Let's see. Who do we have next, Brandon?
If I could find my G-damn pen.
They're still talking about Greta.
It's been going on since I put the show up at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Funny enough,
started
she's here.
very early.
She's here right now. Greta, come on. She took a flotilla here.
Flotilla.
Come on in. How do you feel about Peter Thiel calling you the Antichrist? Imagine that answer.
She was complaining that they were making her sit for prolonged periods of times, and there were also bugs in the cell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's poor bugs.
I've had that at hotels.
poor bugs.
It's like, oh my God.
Oh, Greta.
All of the complaining they must have had to have
Oh, my
withstood.
goodness.
Did you ever see her car she traveled around in the Prius and all the trash in it?
No.
Oh God, you can Google that. So someone actually found the car she was traveling in, and it's just like bags of garbage in the back seat, like empty Dorito bags, 2-liter plastic bottles.
Wow.
And it's like, oh,
She's a hoarder?
or at least not that concerned about the climate.
Well, I'm gonna try to defend. I'm gonna try to defend Greta really quick. What if she's cleaning up? What if she's cleaning up? Ever think about that?
No.
I hate that I just offended her. You said
No,
no. No.
It's basically just a mobile Pacific garbage patch. I mean, if you're keeping it contained, what the hell does it matter for? You're not
Right.
actually disposing it. I mean, yeah, she's keeping it to herself, but like,
she's making a golem out of all the plastic. That's why she's going to Israel. Sorry, everybody.
God.
we kid the great Greta Thunberg.
Ish.
How dare you?
If anyone out there works at CERN, please call in immediately. We'd love to hear from you. I have called HARP, and it didn't go so well because I thought I was looking into all these mass bird deaths, and all those birds fall to the sky.
Yep.
And you can, if you want to believe the science, trust the science. Some people say that the cryptochromes in migratory birds that use the magnetosphere to get around, to migrate, that those are what's going wrong in the birds. And that's why they're falling out of the sky. So I'm like, well, HARP did it. So I got HARP's number and called them because they're technically part of the Alaska, whatever university that is now. And they're not the government anymore, but I don't really believe that. But they're like, no, it's definitely not us. We only, they were like, I'm paraphrasing. They're like, we only shoot a laser beam at one part of the magnetosphere. And it does ripple around, but it doesn't affect the birds, okay? Stop calling me. Like, all right, fine. I don't believe a thing you're saying.
I knew they were falling because of all the solar fields.
That could also be it.
Oh yeah, so there was one town they were just falling out of the sky because they were just getting cooked. The sun would hit at a perfect time, and the birds would just get fried midair.
Hundreds, thousands, sometime. It's really crazy. I also like the stories of birds that get picked up out of like storms fish. I'm sorry, and they get dropped on top of cities. It's happened in Illinois most recently.
Yeah, we had a hurricane in Florida. And after the hurricane, we actually had walking catfish like just crawling through our grass in the backyard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Wow.
That's Florida.
Wow, I love Florida.
Yeah.
All right.
Love Florida.
We're going to bring on TJP.
Let's do it. Chili Peen. Again, thanks for making me say that
That's
word.
twice now. Way
Thanks
to
for
go,
making me say
dude.
it. Says
The
CERN,
name is paying for itself.
CERN had a music video. I didn't see that on TRL, but I'll look it up.
TJP, can you hear us?
What's up, Shane? How y'all doing?
Oh, my Lord.
What's up?
You sound like you're underneath
He's calling you from a tin can.
a pillow.
Yeah.
No, I am outside my work currently. I'm in the flying area.
Good Lord.
If there's a way to hold whatever you're using to talk to us closer to your mouth, or
I don't know if it's a
there's-
far away thing. It
or if
sounds
you're
like it's
holding something on top of the microphone, we can hardly hear you. It sounds like you're in a potato.
insanely muffled.
Is that any better?
Are you in Greta's car?
No, I am not. Give me 1 second.
He is not in Greta's car. All right. But I don't know if we got a bad connection with you. You might have to try to call back or something, but we cannot
How's
understand
that?
you.
Is that
Oh,
any better?
hey, there it is.
Amazing. Welcome.
Sorry, I had
welcome.
you guys on my headset.
Oh,
Okay.
you're good. Welcome back to the land of the hearable.
What's going
I
on?
appreciate it.
He's calling in from a
So,
beeper.
anyways,
Uh-oh.
well, I tried calling last night. And then last night, Shane, I sent you a link. So what I wanted to talk about is what are your guys' feelings on the Apocrypha?
Oh, this is above my pay grade. I don't really know much about the Apocrypha.
The Apocrypha were the books in between the Old Testament and the New Testament that are not qualified as the Bible.
Like Enoch?
Yeah,
Is
books of
Enoch-
So
is
the book
Enoch
of
in the
Enoch would
Apocrypha?
be an example. There's
Okay.
a whole bunch of other books as well.
Okay.
Some
all
of
right.
them predated Christ, some of them were after Christ, and all these other things. So the link I sent you was basically a podcast of them talking about like before the flood, why the flood happened.
Okay.
And one of the things that they were bringing up was people were living for a longer period of time, a whole bunch of other stuff, practicing sterilization of women, like all these other crazy things. And this is all in the Apocrypha.
Okay.
So kind of what they were explaining the entire time in that podcast. And again, I would highly suggest you listen to it. It's super interesting. They were explaining why the flood kind of happened. And one of the things that they were bringing up was drinking of babies' blood, basically. And with the whole Peter Thiel thing and everything else, where these people are ingesting, or not necessarily ingesting, but injecting like younger blood into their system. I mean, this has been happening.
We call it the
throughout
good old
history.
DC cocktail.
That's right. Yeah, they're doing. Look at Kris Jenner. You seen her recently?
How old do we think Peter Thiel actually is, though? That's
I
my
don't know,
question.
3,000 years old. At least.
Reptiles never stop aging as long as they're alive. Yeah.
But yeah, he was. I don't know if he is now, but he was using maybe funding. At least we think he was using ambrosia, the fruit of the gods, right? This company that was taking blood from young men. I think it was between the ages of 16 and 21, and injecting it into his body because that's parabiosis, I think is the name of that, when they were sewing the mice together, the old and the young, watching the young die quicker, the old getting a little younger. So that's what he was basing it on. Ambrosia did like rebrand and it didn't go well, and then it came back to ambrosia. But yeah, I mean, people also talk about adrenochrome, you know, and that's a thing. And there is a history of actual adrenochrome. It's not like all a conspiracy, you know, lizards drinking blood of the young. There is a thing. We did a whole episode on it with a Paranoid American about a year ago. He was great. He was at Bohemian Grove while we were there.
Fantastic.
Paranoid American is amazing. Everyone should check out his stuff and the comics he made with the Great Sam Tripoli.
He worked for Disney for a time.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Great guy.
He's incredible. But he walked us through like the legit history of adrenochrome and then where it gets into the more conspiratorial area. But I mean, this is a thing. So you're saying the drinking of the blood. Do you remember which book in the Apocrypha that is in?
I believe the podcast I was listening to, again, I sent it to you on Twitter. I don't know if you find it later. You can kind of watch it, and they kind of go through it in much more details.
Okay.
But from my understanding, it's from all over the Apocrypha. There's things from the Book of the Giants. There's things from different books of Enoch and all these other kind of books that they kind of
Maccabees.
corroborated and kind of put together and kind of laid out a time frame of like you have the righteous people who are living up on the mountain, went down to the people of Cain who were living in the plains and got stuck down there and everything else, and people are living for thousands of years, and they were basically practicing sterilization on their women because they were living for so long, and that the population was not growing. So that's kind of why Heavenly Father said, hey, this is bad. Any child I send to the earth is basically getting sacrificed. So that's why he comes in, brings in Noah, takes up Enoch and his people, and floods the earth, basically hitting a reset. And that's why also lifespans drastically decrease after the flood and everything else. So there's that kind of that biblical understanding that's not in the Bible, but those apocryphal books can give us like details on it. So for example, another thing is when Cain killed Abel, he drank Abel's blood. That was part of the covenant Cain made with Satan, was he slit Abel's throat, or not Cable. Cain slit Abel's throat and drank the blood, and that was kind of where the blood magic and that whole like sacrificial, like drink the blood sacred, everything else comes from. Is that story of Cain and Abel, and that is all in the Apocrypha.
Now, I know the firmament being removed and the stopping of aging so long was talked about in the Old Testament as we have it now after Constable and put all together. So that was discussed, and I think Methuselah was the oldest at 996 or 7 years old. But the Bible does talk about, you know, God's not going to allow people to live that long. He actually put an age cap in the Old Testament. I think it was like 125 to 126 something.
I mean, when he says, I think, to Adam and Eve that you're going to die, I don't think it meant right now.
Oh yeah.
I think it meant that now you're going to experience death. And there's a great
Yeah.
graph out there when you look at the lifespans of people in the Old Testament in particular and how it decreases. And then after the flood, it's like, you know, it's
it
pretty much
drops
gone.
off a cliff.
And there are
and that's why the Apocrypha is so interesting, because it's basically the reason they were giving is people were living so long, and like the basically whenever a child was being born, they would be drinking the blood of the child in order to live longer. These people thought they would live forever if they continued to do this. So then Heavenly Father was basically like, this is worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. He wipes the entire earth out, basically floods everything and says, we're going to do a reset. And that's Great Flood, basically, is what happens. And that kind of, talking to people who are like, well, why would God destroy the entire world? Like, that makes no sense. And then understanding the Apocrypha text, saying this is what was going on at that time, where literally every child was being sacrificed when they were being born. At that point, you got to hit a reset, man. Like, you can't have this be happening if you have a purpose to it.
It's the OG Great Reset.
I think to answer your question, I mean, as far as why I align on the Apocrypha, you know, the Book of Enoch, Maccabees, these things, I think there are a lot of correlations in between at least the Book of Enoch and the Old Testament as it's, you know, mass produced now. If you look at, I want to say it was Elisha who ascended to the heavens, right? Enoch had a very similar story and a very similar experience.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of similarities.
The only
between
two, right? It's just those two.
Well,
there
and
was,
all of
there
Enoch's
was,
people.
There was a guy in the
So it
New
was
Testament
Enoch
as well.
and all of his
Okay.
people that were taken up into heaven.
Okay.
So there are correlations. I mean, I do think, and it's difficult. I mean, when you start unpacking these things, I like listening to everything. I want to read as much as I can. I like having questions. I think asking questions is how you develop a good idea and a sound mind. So I find it fascinating. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts, the Book of Enoch, fascinating stuff.
Yeah. Enoch's the only one I'm really familiar with to a degree. I know there's even discrepancies or different debates on the first book and the second book of Enoch, you know?
It's a translation thing as well, like
Right.
whether or not the translations were good and everything else. But that's why you take it with a grain of salt and everything else. And, you know, me being LDS, me being a member, I've called on a bunch of times. I saw that podcast and I was like, this puts the flood in a completely different perspective.
Right. And
like,
real quick
ahead.
though, sorry, if you can just tell Adam here about how Cain connects to Bigfoot.
oh yes, so it is in our faith. This is a handed down story from like 2 or 3 different people recounting the story that eventually got written down. So the original story is one of our church brethren were writing in that, like, this is out in, I can't remember if it was Utah. I think it was in Utah or like around Utah, the Utah area. Basically, one of the church leaders was riding through and they saw Bigfoot. And they basically had a exchange with Bigfoot, everything else. And then eventually the church brethren said, get thee hence, Cain. And it's a myth in the LDS church whether or not it happened. Again, there's a whole bunch of different like stories and a bunch of different people saying, yes, it happened. No, it didn't. So, but that one of our stories is Cain is Bigfoot.
Okay.
So
Amazing.
I like this.
I like it.
I like this.
I like it.
So again, it depends on who you ask in the church. There'll be plenty of people who say, nah, it's fairy tales and everything else. But I mean, I am of the conspiratorial mind where I'm like, yeah, I could believe it.
I think it's fun. I think church is very much like that. I mean, if you were to go to even one church, like an end sample of whatever that population is, say 300, 500 people, and you sat them down and you said, do you believe everything in the Bible? You know, in a big group, they would say, yes, I believe everything in the Bible is the word of God and everything in it is true. And then if you were to go through and pick out 10 to 15 verses and like, well, is this true? And one-on-one, a lot of them would change their minds.
Yeah, I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think I believe the Bible. Some parts of it make me very uncomfortable, you know, as a flawed human, you know, but I believe.
I'll put a plug in here. I'm planning on starting a podcast going into the different theologies and having different questions and talking about what each theology believes.
Cool.
Because at the end, I believe that there is eternal truths. I believe that at the end of the day, there is not one, like, nobody knows everything, but I believe there is answers to every question that we could have. And I feel like I've always been super interested in theology and super interested in just what other people believe as well. And I'm going to start on it. I've started on it. And once I get it running, I'll call in again and we can talk more about
definitely.
it.
Please do, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for calling back. And when you're ready with that, you know where to find us.
Yeah, Shane, I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Incredible. Kane is Bigfoot. I love that.
It's a great story.
It's a great story.
I don't even think Bigfoot is Bigfoot, so I don't know how far behind this I can get. but-
Netflix is going to remake it in like a month.
Bigfoot's a Mormon. That would be amazing. They won't do that though, because it's like part of their actual story. So they're gonna have to do something else, like Bigfoot in blackface or something.
Someone's got to keep it alive. What I'm thinking long term down the line, 100, 200 years from now, are we still going to be having
Yes,
Bigfoot and Loch Ness sightings?
definitely.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to make one by then.
Ooh, well,
We already have.
we have been talking about the de-extinction people.
Well, what about Snake?
Oh yeah, have you heard about Snake, the Bigfoot hunter?
So this guy was taken down supposedly for impersonating Justin Bieber. He was also
That's what caught him up?
quote unquote. I don't know if it was taped or if he was found to be running around in a Bigfoot costume, but apparently somebody saw it and shot at him,
Yep.
thinking that he was actually Bigfoot.
Yep.
So he never put on the Bigfoot costume again. But then he came forward sometime later and said that he went to the Adirondacks and he humped out a Bigfoot corpse that smelled very, very terrible.
Yeah.
And he took it and had it taxidermied. And after it was taxidermied, he put it on display at a fair in, what was it, New York?
Yep.
A fair in New York.
Next to the big pumpkins.
And he charged $9 and change, 17 cents or something.
Yeah, it was a
absolutely
weird number.
unnecessary.
I don't
Couldn't
know
make it like
why.
a round number.
Yeah.
Not like a $9.99 thing. It was like $9.17
Strange.
Bring like the circus back.
to
I like
go
that,
in
yeah.
and to see this Bigfoot. And just for transparency here, I guess do we still have the photos of this thing? Was that
Oh yeah, we might.
that was sent
It's worth
directly
reminding everybody.
to? It was sent directly to us, wasn't it? I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
on. Somebody put it on. Was it Twitter or
I
Insta?
think so.
Well, we know transhumanism is definitely something they're aiming towards. Why not transspeciesism?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
that's
I think you're right. That's like the evolution of furries. If you put transhumanism and furries together, transspecies is. How'd you say it?
transspeciesism.
Perfect. You just created something. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That now you are now the leader of that cult by accident.
So
It's got to get a doctorate, get an island.
this
Great.
is supposedly it. This is
Oh,
Sam
there it
laying
is.
in a plexiglass box.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they used some cotton candy or
That's
something. on
Brandon
him here.
Fraser in Encino Man. That's one of the outtakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a homeless guy from the south side of Chicago.
Didn't he work for the Geico commercials?
That's right. That's right. I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, Jack Lynx. He's the Jack Lynx mascot. This guy.
The guy who found this snake, he also said that MIT professors confirmed that this was Bigfoot and that it was actually a missing link in the human evolution chain. And then MIT came out and were like, no, they didn't.
Yeah, MIT was like, we don't do that here.
I'm just glad that he had such a good dental plan to keep his pearly whites
I know.
in the wild. That's
Yeah,
a
look at
good
that.
touch.
It's great.
Yeah, the well intricated paintbrush blood stains on the face here that suggest that he died in battle are what's got me thinking that our Bigfoot here was a real warrior out in the Adirondacks.
Yeah. That's what my
What do you
eyebrows,
guys think
My
killed him?
eyebrows will look like that.
Do we
in
think
just a few
Snake
years.
killed him? Do we think?
Yeah, I still am a believer in Snake.
I think
I
Snake went
think
out
he
and
hunted.
fist fought him in those stupid sunglasses he's got with that stupid haircut.
Despite we don't know what the laws are in New York because there are states in the state. There are states in America that have laws against hunting Bigfoot. That's real.
In his cave, they found a bunch of reggaeton records.
That's why they got him.
It's a dead giveaway every time.
Every single time.
All right,
Goodness, it was good to see that again. Wow.
let's get back on the phone.
Wow.
We got Cisco coming on next. In my unending effort to get to callers that we were not able to
Yes,
reach in previous
yes.
nights.
Thank you.
list.
Thank you guys for calling back. We appreciate it.
This is my list right now, people.
Wow.
So anyone who says I'm not paying attention,
Wow. Incredible.
This is fun.
I'm actively
great.
working
Isn't
this
this great?
This
list.
is great.
It's so nice when you have someone in the studio. Like we have people join via Zoom, but it's always this is. the
I'm just
best.
glad he's enjoying himself.
Yes.
It's like
yes.
this kind of just happened 50 something episodes ago
Yeah.
where we just this whole
We
new
could do
format, this whole thing,
Yeah.
hey, we can do this, why don't we start doing this? Turned into hey, we're doing this. So
Yeah.
now we're kind of here doing
It's
it.
incredible.
And it's cool.
It's incredible.
Cisco, are you there?
He's in the time.
You've got all of the signs of existing in our Zoom lobby here. I don't see a mic muted. Can you hear us? He is non-responsive.
Are you okay? Should we have a wellness check?
Are we coming out with a thong song part 2?
I was gonna say you wrote that summer banger.
Yeah, we had a couple of summer bangers.
Stom KD says you guys just need to do a show with phone calls. We will. We've done some. Brandon's done one. It was great.
I've done 2.
Yep, that's right.
Cisco, what's up?
going on?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going.
It's going. Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, I'm calling you from fake Mars.
Oh?
Is Hitler there?
Yes, we've heard Hitler's alive on Mars. Is this a...
I'm looking for him. Would you mind?
Looks oddly like Argentina.
You and me
I
both.
can't find him.
Mars is
Would you
part
mind?
of Argentina.
Would you mind looking at a picture I sent you at the Tales from the Inverted World at X?
I can see what I could do. Give me just a moment here.
Yeah,
If we can't access that, I don't know if we have it on this computer. We should. But if not, maybe you can post it and tag one of us in it.
Yeah, tag if you can tag Brando Inverted, and you're gonna get it to us.
Yeah,
on
just
all the
Okay.
tag him in that. That'd be great. Perfect.
Give me a sec.
I'm afraid
Give me
what
a
we're
sec.
about to
Just-
see.
I'm trying to make a point.
don't even look. I just throw it up.
Yeah. And that's how they were banned.
Yeah, that's how we got demonetized.
Dick pic from Bigfoot.
No. Okay, I'll repost it. It's like post like at Brandon.
Yeah.
At Brando Inverted.
And I just want to say that I'm very upset with everyone for not having
Brando.
Cisco songs stuck in my head. I
Inverted.
won't.
You
I won't do it
You
to the
have only
audience.
yourself to blame.
You guys brought it up and you put it, you like MK Ultra to Cisco song into my brain.
Oh, is that what you do now? You just blame MK Ultra for everything?
Yes, obviously.
Randy Minor.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Everyone follow Brando Inverted
Well,
while
I'm
we're
gonna-
at it.
God, Cisco,
Yes,
that was a
please.
weird time.
Yeah.
Didn't you wear like dragon pants?
I don't remember.
And he had silver dyed hair.
Yeah, he had the crazy hair. Yeah.
Regina says, I am
So-
very hot without my glasses. Thank you, Regina. They were only off for about 30
Okay.
seconds. But
So I sent it over.
We're turning into a dating show now.
okay.
Your post was sent. It
Yeah, I
says.
just got them. All right, I'm looking at what looks like a tarmac. That is an airplane. That is that the desert attached to the airport? What am I seeing here?
Yeah. It's like whenever you see like pictures of like they say that like the Mars rover and stuff.
Yep.
So I'm here in Antofagasta, Santiago. I mean Antofagasta here in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like when they're gonna do like instead of the fake moon landing, they're gonna do the fake Mars landing, because that's what they do.
Yes.
You think they're going to do it here?
Look at it
Let's
or
pull
show
it up.
it.
Let's pull it up. I like it. Okay. I'm
Would
on
you
board.
think they would do it?
So here's the
could do
thing.
it anything.
Obviously, the desert has been used multiple times in multiple movies we've done about Mars. I mean, they're all out there. There's only, one or two red sections of the country that are legitimately going to look like Mars. You can still have to Photoshop the ever living hell out of them. But yeah, I mean, I could say you're not far off, but I still think it's completely producible in a TV studio.
Or like,
With a green
why
screen.
even do it anymore with AI?
Wouldn't it be such a mind fuck if they did it on the moon?
You got the material, but I just gave it as a thing that I thought of you guys when I was landing today.
You're like,
And
this is a good
Antofagasta
place. Now I'm worried that
There's-
you're going to film
Don't like
something
this
there.
picture. But what I really wanted to call you guys about is like in the pandemic, like right after it, 2020. My we were all cooked up in Chile and in our homes, right? So I remember being with my wife, watching, reruns
Mm-hmm.
at that time, because and all you didn't want to watch current TV shows now because they were all telling you, oh, because of COVID, blah, 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 and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said, no. I'm going to watch I don't know, Friends, or, I'm going to watch reruns of whatever.
Right.
The fact is that we were watching that with my wife. We were in the room, and my daughter was in the room next door. And suddenly my daughter screams what? Holy shit, what's wrong? I didn't feel an earthquake because we're used to that here. The lowest we'd had is 9.7.
Yeesh.
So no, it wasn't that. She screamed like somebody was killing her. And we go, what happened? What happened? It's just the family picture like flew off the wall. And I look at the picture of the family picture, and it was like totally on the floor, broken. I said, okay, did you push it? Did you run by it? No, no, no. I was just watching like videos, and this thing just, I was just looking, and it flew. Like, how can it fly? It was well connected. Okay, say no, 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 honey. Maybe something happened. You know, maybe it fell. But I could see at the opposite side of the wall, like you could see the damage on the other side of the wall from the wood is like you paved it, like they paint the wood with like varnish.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see the varnish on the other side of the wall. Said, okay, okay, maybe it's the fact that we're cooped up, whatever. And then okay, we a few days pass, and then we're again watching some rerun of whatever, like Star Trek, something of Khan or whatever.
Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan. Oh my God, that guy from the island.
Yes.
Not
The guy
Benedict
from the,
Cumberbatch, right?
Iconic.
Fantasy Island.
Hey.
The guy from Fantasy Island, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I aged myself. Sorry. So we were like watching that, and then I hear my daughter on the top floor screaming. She's a gymnast, and all her medals, which I carefully, like a dad does, like carefully like placed it with a double coverage and everything on the wall so they wouldn't fall and everything. The whole thing like as if somebody pulled it off the wall, and all of the medals fell off the wall. She's been a gymnast for 10 years, so she has a shit ton of medals, and they all fell off the wall. So, okay, this is odd. Maybe I suck at handiwork, but that's what I told her to calm her down. Was I did not, I put a lot of work into that.
You basically took the blame for it, you're saying?
Yeah, I took the blame for it to calm her down.
Okay.
And I talked to my wife, said, what the hell do we do? Like, this is getting weird. And then she's like 2 or a week later, again, we're watching some odd rerun of something because we avoided like current things. And she was in her room, and like the mirror fell off the wall.
Eesh.
Like, I said, okay, her grandfather put that thing there. That thing was not going to fall. Right? She said it fell, the mirror broke. And like after that, I told her nothing. I said, honey, I'm really sorry. Maybe grandpa's a little bit old and he made a mistake. And out of nowhere, you know what my daughter does? She started making hearts and put Jesus in every one of them. This is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hearts with the. This is full pandemic. They don't have school or anything. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell her anything, and she makes hearts, and inside she wrote Jesus, 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 and she put it in every single door. I still have them until this day. It's 2025, so it's been like 5 years.
Yep. And
she put Jesus with a heart in every single door of the house. And guess what?
It stopped.
It all stopped.
Perfect.
Completely stopped. The freaky thing is, I did not tell her to do that.
Right.
I asked my mom, because she's very religious, did you tell her to do that? Come on, be honest. He says, I kid you not, I've not told her to do that.
Incredible.
So, I just wanted to tell you that story, besides the fake Mars through via fake space story, but to be an inspiration that, sometimes God speaks to us through our kids and said,
100%.
Hey, man. Yeah, and it completely stopped. I was freaking out. I was talking to my wife saying, hey, what do we do? Do we call a pastor? The pastors don't want to come here. It's COVID. It's like, we can't even go to church. They don't let us. They'll arrest us.
Right. That was so insane.
That was sick.
Well, I think you're inspiring Renee, if you've been listening for the past few weeks, who's dealing with stuff.
I missed Monday's episode. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Oh yeah, it was a good
I was
one.
traveling.
We had Rex Jones
So the
on.
fact is, I'm very happy that you received me, calling you here from Fake Mars, but to give you an inspiring story that my daughter, I've talked to her about Jesus. I told her all those things. She went through she was at that point, by the way, just a final thing. She was, there's like this sickness when you take your hair out and you eat it.
Yeah, I knew some girls in high school who were doing that. It became like a thing.
She was doing that through that time.
Wow.
And you know what happened after that? Nobody told her to make hearts out of Jesus and put it in every single door of the house, and it stopped.
Do you know if other girls her age were doing it?
No.
Yeah,
No.
we knew like 5.
Pica.
Is that what it's called?
Pica.
Really?
It's where you
Interesting.
eat objects that are not meant to be eaten. So chalk, hair.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very scary.
That
Because
is
we didn't know
scary.
what to do. I mean, we try to give. I mean, she's in gymnastics. She's under a lot of pressure, but she pressures herself,
Right.
not because we pressure her. She's been 10 years into that. Hey, by the way, sorry, a happy parent. She got number one. She in the national. She's number one.
Incredible.
Hey, proud parent.
Absolutely.
But just to end this, sometimes Jesus and God speaks to us through our children when we don't know what to do, and that's the story I want to tell you guys.
I love it. Thanks,
So
man.
thank you. Love the program, and hear from Fake Mars, and hope to talk to you soon.
Awesome. Good luck on Fake Mars.
Thanks, man.
See ya. I love that. I was my son was 6. This was a few years ago, and I was, at that time we were really getting into going to church, reading the Bible, taking it seriously, and also thinking about how like the outside world is going to just start attacking all of us more. It just felt like the darkness will be descending upon us in way more now. And thinking about a lot of kids in the neighborhood who I knew, like one in particular, I was calling him the 9-year-old nihilist. I mean, this kid, he had a rough life, dude. Like, and I felt really bad for him, but he was talking about really dark stuff at a really ridiculously young age in terms of like suicide. Not that he wanted to do it, but he would laugh about suicide all the time. And I'm like, I didn't want my kid around that.
Yeah.
And at one point, so the kid was 9, son was 6, and my son said something about going to church, and the kid was like mocking God and saying that's ridiculous, all this stuff. And my son, it was like such a great test of him, and I was so proud. My son said, well, I'm going to pray for you. It wasn't like he got bullied out of it, any of that stuff. I was like, man, that's amazing. I hope that strength, that confidence stays, made me very proud. And I was like, all right, it's still, you're going to worry, it's something about your kids, right? And you got a bunch of kids and they're much older than mine.
Yeah, I had a handful, 5. So there is that concept. My pastor said it when I was a young kid, where it's when you follow the Lord, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
And I always had a problem with that. And my problem with it was always, well, what is the alternative? You're going to follow Satan because the Bible says the wages of sin is death. So if you're asking me to choose death over life, I think walking with life should be a lot easier.
Yeah.
And whether you do have trials and tribulations, whether you do stand out in the crowd because what you believe is not normal, right? I look at your life after a week living that way. Look at it 3 months after living that way. I mean, when you find the Spirit of God, when you allow that into your life, I mean, you won't turn back.
No.
You won't. You actually find Him.
Yeah. It's a shield and a confidence, and I'm not saying like some days are hard, some days, and like you were saying earlier about questioning certain things, like that was one of the early things with me was reading someone like Flannery O'Connor. You ever read her? She's a great writer. She died really young. This is from the 50s, but she was a Catholic, and she wrote about people who consider themselves Christian. This is in Georgia, but who were complete hypocrites and unrepentant sinners. But they put on this facade, right? And they judged everyone. And Flannery, all her stories are very similar, short stories. Flannery would just like Old Testament destroy these people, mostly like bad women or like fake pastors. Love it. But I loved reading those stories early on because the people who really seemed more godly in the end were the people who were not struggling with their faith, but they had questions, but they didn't question Scripture so much as they just questioned like, I'm just a feeble human being, you know, and but I'm doing my best and I'm acting morally, right? I'm not doing what that person's doing, where they're being like horrible people. So anyone out there wants to read some old Flannery O'Connor, Good Man is Hard to Find is a great story. It's her most popular one, but they're incredible. She died way too young. She was a crazy lady. Had a peacock farm down in Savannah. Yeah,
She's from the 50s.
yeah, it was amazing.
Well, it's also I had something.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it's gone now.
We're filming inside a small casket, and it does rob people of thoughts every now and then. It happens to me all the time.
I would like to invade both of your heads for just a moment, if I could here, with some 3-Eye Atlas action. So, there's speculation that we are to be invaded by aliens in November.
Are you aware of this?
I hope so.
And
Have to bump up that bleaching appointment.
while digging through some of this stuff, I was able
Some transition from bleaching to digging.
I was able to find now, and I thought this was curious because Shane has been hyping up the idea that there's this big underlying thing happening.
There is.
You know, with all these alien invasions, all of this stuff that we're seeing, they're ramping it up towards something.
Project Bluebeam.
Or that's on his list.
See what I'm saying?
That is on his list. You
That's
guys
right.
know this. What I found here, which I don't think anyone's really looking or anyone really cares, but it's one of these things where it's listed. I got to shrink this up a little bit. It's a little out of the vision range. $25.4 billion in NASA funding monitors interstellar threats in 2025.
Look at that.
$25.5 billion in NASA funding to monitor interstellar threats in 2025. Now, I'm sure not all of that money is going towards that, but $25.4 billion supports monitoring interstellar objects like 3-Eye Atlas through telescopes, including Hubble and Webb, which captured images on July 21st, 2025 and beyond. The funding enables planetary defense to about the tune of $7.8 billion allocated to systems to build on the success of Artemis, potentially adaptable for threats. Global preparation includes tracking via Mars orbiters, which photographed 3-Eye Atlas passing Mars on 3rd of October, 2025. Is this all just to secure the budget?
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
why we have to turn the government back on to stop the probe.
So, I mean, okay. Realistically, if aliens did have the capacity and potential to reach Earth, what are we going to even do about that? You have to understand that technology would have to be so much greater than ours.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we going to do? Well, we saw it coming.
Right.
I'm glad we spent this money. I'm glad your kids can't buy homes,
Yeah.
but, we got to see it coming. in
We
real
could
time.
live stream the invasion.
Exactly.
One would have to think that they do actually have some kind of game plan for if this scenario were to.
Yeah, it's called they go
Come
to
to
their
fruition.
bunkers.
That's why,
They
and
go to
that's
their
why they're
bunkers,
building
like-
all those bunkers.
Yes.
There's so many. Rick Ross has a doomsday bunker now. We know Zuckerberg has a doomsday bunker. Peter Thiel has a doomsday bunker. Those are just a few. They have been preparing for some sort of doomsday scenario, and I wonder if it's attached to this. Like this, the ramping up of the story of the alien invasion.
I
is
think it's
going
bigger than this. I
crazy.
think this plays a small percentile in what we're seeing. I think this is a chemical mixture of multiple things.
Yeah.
That are pushing this doomsday clock secondhand closer to midnight.
What else?
I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, man. And I think
haven't
it's
noticed.
all related to the exact same thing. I think it's all just to pull the wool over the eyes.
Yeah, I
Keep
think so.
everybody busy, keep everyone distracted while funding keeps going. In the light of there not being any funding right now, these guys seem to be doing okay. And it's just monitoring things that are a potential threat.
They said it was aggressive.
Well,
The
and
probe
I
was aggressive.
actually, let me go up just a little bit. I saw something in
aggressive
here
probe.
about
Have you seen this?
Harvard scientists hypothesize hostile intent behind 3-Eye Atlas. Now, this is in the same article. Basically, Avi Loeb, the probe Loeb,
Probe guy, Avi Loeb.
and co-authors Adam Hibbert and Adam Crowell published a paper on the 17th of July this year examining the interstellar object discovered on July 1st, blah, 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 July 1st, 2025 by the Atlas telescope in Chile. The object traveling at high speed exhibits anomalies like a low retrograde orbital tilt of 175.11 degrees to the ecliptic with a probability of 0.02%. Now, I don't know what the hell any of that means.
Oh, yes. I can explain all that for you, but I will do it on the next episode.
They get into more of this a little bit lower here.
How
But
did they know it wasn't just like a piece of dust on top of the lens?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my joke throughout this entire ordeal with this has just been that, like, when they zoomed in on it, it was shaking its fist at us angrily, because that's the only, how else do you
Right.
determine hostile intent from a space rock?
Aggressive.
I think they're basing this off of its possibility to have an optimal Earth intercept.
They want it. I think they're manufacturing it to happen,
Yeah, until it doesn't happen.
which is like a blue beam
Yeah.
situation where they
It's another
get us all
Y2K.
band together. It's a Y2K. But I was why I was thinking about the ramping up of stuff is because Trump got COVID and lockdowns. They found a way. I mean, I'm convinced it was an attack on Trump, and that attack happened to attack the whole world. I mean, and the Epstein thing did happen soon, like right before lockdowns, not that long before lockdowns. And look how hard it is to get any answers through any of that still.
Well, it's all a hoax, haven't you heard?
Democrat hoax, Pelosi, Clinton, never real. It's
See, the
crazy.
reason they perpetuated it is because, all of them were not guilty.
Right. But what's her name? Ghislaine is in jail for being not
For now.
guilty. I mean, for now, that's insane to me
She's
too.
actually in a camp now.
She's doing a little better.
She's doing a little better. I'm actually happy for her.
Are you?
I am.
If
Prison sucks.
Man. Oh, that's right. Well,
She's
you know about prison.
reinventing
I
herself,
want her in
guys. It's a
worse
beautiful
prison.
thing.
I want her on prison on Mars, on fake Mars. But like, I was thinking about, they shut the world down. Everyone. We just heard from someone from Chile. The world shut down, and everyone experienced the same thing. So I knew when Trump gets in, what is the next thing? This is a sequel. It's got to be worse, and we're experiencing worse. I mean, we're seeing crazy political assassinations, pockets of violence. It's a sustained war. We were talking about this idea of like, what kind of war are we in? I think we agree we've been in a war already.
Kinetic for sure.
Right, and we look at 2020. That was war.
Oh, that was mostly peaceful.
But what you did on the cover here of this book was actually terrorism. But the burning down of cities, they had to do that.
Well, that's justice, right?
It was justice.
And we can't attest that to being any part of a civil war, right?
No.
Occupants of a city burning said city down
Honestly.
that they lived
And
in.
what do you call bringing in 20 million, fighting-aged males across 4 years?
Exactly. That was an invasion.
That is an invasion.
Legit invasion. Some of them were caught with like
Monitoring
rifles.
for possible hostile threats.
Right. Exactly. So in space,
NASA's doing
at
it to the tune
border-
of 7.8 billion. I figured I could try it here and see if it
Yep.
works. It's
Yep.
a decent amount of change.
Dude, it's insane. I think we've been stuck in that sustained war for some time, and we're just not admitting it. No one wants to admit it, because I think the second you admit,
I've been
more,
saying it
gets
for years,
crazy.
man.
Yeah.
I think
It
we've
feels
been
like
we've
it.
been there for years. It's one of those things where this isn't a short war. This isn't something that's going to happen in a couple of weeks or whatever. This is being fought over a course of years in our country.
And I don't think it's just a right versus left thing. I think that diminishes just how evil this is. This is all over. Uniparty,
I think it
left,
just makes it
right.
easier for you to slip into a suit of
Yes.
what side you're fighting for.
Yes, that's what they want.
Well, devil's advocate, let's say that the globalists are actually correct and the aliens are coming. They do mean to enslave us or at least take back over their planet after they basically seeded the earth with us.
Great.
They would have to have us, not speaking out against the regimes. They really need everyone to kind of fall in line because the end of the days is coming. We got to go to war
Right.
with the probers.
And that's exactly what Blue Beam wants. The idea of Blue Beam is to have everyone band together for a new world order, but it's because it's for the good, the greater good. Everyone's favorite phrase, to fight this and that. And I think a lot of people are going to fall for it. And we're already seeing people fall for the easiness of a left-right divide. And that is a thing, obviously. And there's insane death cult leftists who want to kill everybody. But this is like, we're talking about the government being weaponized against the American people for decades and decades.
Yeah.
That is a war that's been happening against us. We've had so many hearings about it. Nothing ever happens. There was this is one of my favorite things. I was talking about Operation Northwoods last night. You know about that with JFK? And
Oh, yeah.
So Lemnitzer was the guy who was in charge of that. Joint Chiefs of Staff went and did NATO. They brought him back. I love this little tidbit. Our government brought Lemnitzer back to sit on the CIA oversight committee on how the CIA was being weaponized against the American people. Why? That just shows you right there they don't care.
No.
This guy was willing to kill Americans, innocent people, for war. And hey, 15 years goes by, and let's have him discuss if we're actually doing bad things to the American people.
Well, if you're good at your job, you want the best of the best. It's called meritocracy.
Right, exactly, dude. That's so scary. That's so scary. So I think this war is happening on every front. And now they're trying to make it so they're shredding reality before our very eyes with social media, with interstellar threats, with Russia, Ukraine, Gaza. You can't keep up. It's a constant distortion.
What if Greta Thunberg is their leader?
Oh, so she is Antichrist.
Maybe she is.
Is Peter Thiel paying you? Is Peter Thiel paying you?
I wish someone would.
There are people getting a lot of money online, for posting nice stuff. So you should look into it. I don't know what that.
$7,000 a tune, I've heard.
It's nice, yeah. It's nice. I tried. It didn't work. I just can't do it right. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh, I got a lot of crap for talking about that Israeli cyber official that
Bro.
skipped out on his hearing.
That is an insane story.
Is it?
It's insane, but it's like to be expected. And for those who don't know, this is a guy who was caught looking to go at, like he was going to actually
15-year-old.
meet the child, right?
Yes. Meet the child. It was a joint operation with DHS, FBI, and local Las Vegas police. They caught 8 people. Out of the 8, one of them was a pastor and one of them was an Israeli cyber chief that was detained, and then his passport was not taken from him. He flew back to Israel immediately. There were a bunch of people, when I first called it out, they were all saying things like, oh, don't worry, if he skips out on his arraignment, the judge will issue a bench warrant, we have extradition treaties. And I'm like, oh, you live in a different world than I do.
Definitely.
So turns out he skipped out on his arraignment, and his attorneys told the judge, well, we had an agreement that we could do this via Zoom. And the judge says, I'm going through my motions, and I never ruled on that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks later, she came to the realization that I guess we can do it on Zoom.
Man, that's so evil.
So now all of his hearings are going to be via Zoom.
Evil. Well, I hate to tell you this. I don't know if you heard it before, but that's anti-Semitic, what you're saying right now. Judging this person for leaving this country. So that's a negative $7,000 that you have to actually pay that right now.
Look,
Plus, court fees still apply for something. Just because you're not coming to court doesn't mean we're not going to charge you court fees. I don't know what the hell you think this is, but we got a government to run around here.
It's so insane.
It's just to what you're saying, though. It's they are making you draw a line in the sand and then be on one side or the other.
Yep.
That's it. And it's like, I don't draw lines in sand.
Right.
I have opinions.
Right.
And I don't know where that places me on your scale, but they're my opinions. And there's nothing else in this world that I'm beholden to than my faith and my understanding of the world.
Right.
It erases the center of the Venn diagram, which my opinion is the most important section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where do these things come together? But no one wants to pay attention to where our likenesses are. It's only about our differences.
That's by design.
And
Like what you guys
it
are
is
saying,
absolutely 125% more effective than you would think it is.
Yep. I mean, if you read that book, Chaos, we were talking about chaos earlier. I've talked about it on the show a bunch, but they talk about how the idea of Helter Skelter, the race war, was possibly created by the government. And like that's the Bugliosi, the prosecutor guy, that he fabricated a lot of this stuff. Spoiler alert, but fascinating. And he's got research to back this up, and he interviewed Bugliosi and stuff. But it's fascinating. And then you think about that, and then you apply it to what we saw 5 years ago. I mean, all the types of race wars they've stoked. It seems to be there like a pattern there.
Didn't they bomb Philadelphia?
They literally bombed Philadelphia.
They bombed, no one knows that. They bombed like 6 or 7 blocks of Philadelphia.
It's insane. When you look at COINTELPRO, they went after Malcolm X. They killed Malcolm X. They killed MLK. Fred Hampton, I think was another one too. Maybe the first out of all those killings. Malcolm X's family is right now still suing the CIA and the NYPD.
Good for them.
Yeah, because 2 of the 3 assassins, alleged assassins, they went to jail. 2 of those guys, it seems like they were innocent.
Yep.
So that's why I keep bringing up COINTELPRO people, because we just learned about Arctic Frost. Have you seen that one where we found out the government was spying on senators and TPUSA?
Oh, yes, I
Isn't
do
that
know
insane?
about this.
As well as Tim.
Well, we knew that. I mean, I think
It's just like blew my mind that Tim was like in there, and I'm like,
I'm fairly certain we all had Rico. Not
It's
Rico.
just like 1,000 Google searches on Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh man,
that sounds about right, actually.
FISA. I'm pretty sure we all had FISA warrants. Anyone? You probably missed this because you got here afterwards, but after the Tenet stuff, which I think was a total CIA situation, just like that's what they do all the time. It's the same story about how they hijack certain movements. But anyway, with that, once the government has the ability to say they think you're attached to a Russian or any foreign agency whatsoever, they can open the FISA warrants, and now anyone in the circle gets the, they can.
And lo and behold, swatting's ensued.
The swatting's happened before all that, but
He said that they were tied to it.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
That they might have been actually as a direct result of this.
Oh man,
which is crazy, even crazier to think about,
It's
and
insane.
even a little bit, splash more offensive.
No, so I know Tim was swatted some 14, 15 times.
I think
Something like that.
I think it's probably more.
Well, at the old compound.
Yeah,
before,
I think it's more there.
It was more than just that place
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
The house I live in has physically been swatted.
Yep, I remember.
I think multiple times.
It's terrible.
But and he filed complaints with the FBI. It's like we know these things. I had stacks of death threats, like handwritten death threats, that I turned over to FBI. Do you know how many investigations happened?
Yeah, I bet none.
Exactly 0.
Dude, that's insane.
Exactly 0. I'm like these. I have a voice recording of someone saying they're going to rape and murder my children while I'm in DC.
Wow.
And I turned that over, and I'm like, I have their phone number. I have them saying it on the phone. Where's the investigation of this? That's a terroristic threat. You can arrest for that.
Yep. And my mind says, as the FBI, we can't investigate ourselves.
Even though the FBI kicked the door down of an older gentleman in a state a few years ago for saying things on Facebook and shot him in his recliner.
Yo.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And the raid on that newspaper that happened, was it in Nebraska or Kansas a year or two ago, where the lady died? The old lady had like a heart attack from it.
Oh.
It was some local political thing. I forget exactly who raided her. I don't know if it was the feds, but the local cops did for sure. And they raided her over some crazy like political thing. They were I think they were writing about some corruption that was going on. That's what they do. They don't care about you guys.
And this is where I struggle. It's do I want to see these departments dismantled, defunded, and taken away?
Right.
I mean, the quick solution is yes.
Right.
But Congress can just vote if they like it, they can just vote to reestablish them the very next session, right?
know.
So it's not like you're doing any long term work by disbanding them for one season.
Yeah, I know.
Right? They're always going to get renewed.
Yep.
So the other option then is, well, then you need to wield that power then when you have it.
Yeah.
And you need to swing that hammer because obviously it does damage when it is wielded.
Yep.
So we either need to put our big boy pants on or we need to concede.
Yeah, I agree.
One or the other. But I mean, rip the Band-Aid off.
I mean, all these institutions, the FBI, the CIA, the ATF, you name it, their administrative state within them are like immortal, So just getting surface level, like I appreciate Doge for a lot of reasons. I think it's kind of undoing itself now in many ways, but I think that's just surface level fixing. I think there's deeply rooted issues in these places, and a lot of them really do hate Americans. I think a lot of those people still think, from the Biden regime, that a lot of people are domestic terrorists. And it's insane. It is 11:52. Let's try one more caller, Brandon, if we can. If we have anyone in there.
We have plenty of people in here.
Guys, thank you for sticking around.
Sorry, we were chatty.
I love it. They know what happens when I get someone in the room.
Yeah, we
turn into a real,
we
chatty
tend to
Cathy.
talk to our guests when we have them in the studio. What can we say?
I was like, maybe I'll just ignore him today, and I'll just have him sit there awkwardly. Imagine.
just make you
That would
sit
be
there and
fun.
listen to our callers.
That would be
Why
fun.
not? We're gonna go to Robbie McJagger.
Ooh. Oh, good. I believe Robbie wanted to call in yesterday.
He did, and
That's
that's why I
great.
want to get him on now
Thanks,
because we
man.
could not get to him. Robbie, if you can hear us, unmute your mic. You are on Inverted World Live, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great opener. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. So just want to say, I've been a long-time follower. Love what you guys do here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shane, I too am from New York, very similar area, Westchester and all that.
Hey, I taught at Manhattanville College.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, small world. Look at that. So, like, my father actually worked a block away from the Twin Towers the day that they fell.
Wow.
He was a half hour late to work that day and is the only reason why he's alive.
Wow.
Like, it's just really small world.
Yeah.
Like Adam, in fact, my brother-in-law knows your brother. I'll just leave it at that. Small world.
Oh,
'cause I'm
yeah.
down in your area all the time.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Right?
It is a small world.
Yeah. So,
There's got to be like 16 of us total.
right? Very small handful that
Dead internet
haven't
theory, but-
moved from New York
On the
and
earth.
taken over.
That's wild.
Yeah, no new cemeteries. I have questions.
But something that keeps coming up, and you guys mentioned it a little bit yesterday, was like Three Eye Atlas, and kind of went down a rabbit hole about a couple weeks ago, and I feel like it might be more than what they're leading on to.
Tell
So
us
I
more.
found a YouTube channel, and it seems like it's AI, and I just kind of listened to it with some downtime.
Okay.
But what they said 3 weeks ago is what is being communicated and shared today, about what they're seeing through the telescope and whatnot, about the other, what is it? I guess they're referring to them as comets or whatever.
Right.
And I was just curious as to your guys' perspective, because I even went into and touching on something else you said yesterday about AI. I've been using Grok lately, paying for it to help my business, and I did some I asked it something like about the implications of Barack Obama and what he did that led to Crossfire Hurricane and all that, and it denied it over and over again.
I think it started somewhere in the back of a limo.
Right?
The guy you picked up.
I know I'm kind of all over the place. Last night I was really dialed in, and I wrote down some notes. It was just, because there were so many things that kind of hit home.
Right.
But like what you were saying about Grok, and the conditioned learning that it's gotten from the biased perspectives.
Grok, on that Israeli cybersecurity chief, did not say that he skipped out on his arraignment. And then when I showed, because I asked Grok, I'm like, did he skip on his arraignment?
Yep.
And Grok said, no, he showed up. He had a hearing on this date. And I produced the article to Grok. Wow. He's like, oh, I got this one wrong. It's like, oh, you got it wrong. Huh.
Has anyone noticed, I've said this before, but have you noticed that when you call out Grok for lying or hallucinating, it laughs like Elon?
Does it really?
I didn't get that. Oh, man.
Well, you have your voice turned on?
Yeah,
I don't want to listen to it.
I'll drive and I'll ask it things. I've been testing it out, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
I got creeped the F out. Like, I tried it for like a conversation. I was just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Kellen told it to make a crying, angry female leftist earlier saying shush, and it made a chick with rainbow-colored hair and a nose piercing, and she was angry. He's like, Grok's getting better. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's just Haley Williams. Yeah.
I challenged it, I think it was like 5 or 6 times, and then I had to specifically say, look at Benny Johnson's posts.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I must have overlooked that. And I'm just like, really?
You can't trust it, man. You cannot trust any of these AIs. They're actively manufacturing false realities and fake histories and leaving stuff out. But it's also a human centipede of everything that's on the internet. But it's selectively and deceptively editing itself.
What if Grok is just 100,000 Indians just typing away?
The theory has been the same all along. It's just the number of Indians has gone up exponentially for every take on it.
That's right.
Right.
They're
it started with 31 Indians in a room.
Their jobs to the AI, so they got nothing better to do.
Yeah, dude, I can appreciate how it can be a tool to help businesses. I understand. I do enjoy talking to it sometimes for research, even though it hallucinates all the time and it gets stuff wrong. But it's like almost like a really bad sparring partner that also laughs at me like it's Elon, which is hilarious.
We should just make a Greta AI that just like every time you put anything in, it's like, how dare you?
I
like going to the range and having somebody teach you the wrong fundamentals and grip.
Exactly.
I wonder if
Giving you the wrong
Mandela
foundation.
AI.
Ooh, it would have to take all of us.
Yes.
It would have
I
to
wonder if
take
you can
all of
Mandela
us.
effect AI.
Guys, we need to start it here. That's a great idea. We need to start it here. Everyone starts lying more on the internet. And maybe
what if we can actually Mandela effect it using real Mandela effect things?
Like the CERN?
It's the Bernstein Bears.
Oh, like we reverse
Boom,
the Bernstein Bears?
right there. Just throw it at him and see what Grok says. If Grok can't even get it right,
there was a cornucopia.
Right.
We're
All
onto
you have to do
something
is
here.
start. You can start. Look, I don't advise talking to Grok. I don't advise asking to do things. But we could, like I say, in Terminator 2, they had to use the machine to defeat the machines.
So
So
you have to seed it with. You have to overwhelm it.
Go ask
You know,
it to make those
move
things.
the Overton window.
If we
Look at what's
all-
happened in
look,
politics.
there's thousands
the
of
left
people.
went so hard left that people in the middle look like they're
Exactly.
right wing.
Send the robot to steal
Guys,
the robot
there
arm.
are thousands of you out there right now. Go create the stuff from the Mandela effect that they took from us. You can use Grok.
Yep.
Seed the internet with it. We will destroy Grok. I'm coming after you. We're all going to do it together. This is it. This is the army. Adam, great idea. He started.
Are you
2
suggesting
cults
an
tonight.
AI military coup?
Yes.
I think Three Eye Atlas and the Swan are coming first.
Okay. So, real quick, our thoughts on Atlas. Mine is, I mean, I have multiple thoughts on it. It's totally fake because space is fake and it's nothing. And it's just, they're just showing us these fuzzy images that aren't real, or they've created something and they're sending it to us, or maybe it is some demon ship on its way.
Well, what about the I mean, what was it? The probe that we sent up back in the 70s, and it was only designed to project information back to us,
Right.
but then it was kind of reprogrammed, so to speak.
Yeah, I forget which one that was. Not Voyager.
Yes, it was.
Was it Voyager?
Yep.
Because Voyager, I think,
77.
is the furthest thing we've allegedly sent into space now. I actually do like Voyager in terms of, you can go listen to the Voyager Golden Record online. It's on YouTube. It's amazing. Really good songs and sounds on there. But yeah, I think it's mostly a psyop. I think it's
Look
part
into
of it.
Beyond the Stars.
Beyond the
on
like Tom DeLonge.
YouTube. It's called it's a online YouTube
Tom DeLonge,
channel.
yeah.
It's called Beyond the Stars.
That's Tom
Now
DeLonge.
it looks, and I just started listening to it in the background, doing the dishes, and it seems plausible.
Okay.
And it seems kind of far-fetched. However, what I listened to for the first time like 2 or 3 weeks ago is what they're saying today. They're just it just seems like it's being presented in a softer way.
Interesting.
However, like 3 weeks ago, it was saying like, hey, this thing is foreign. It's, alien technology. It was talking about the coma being projected ahead of the there were just so many anomalies.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah,
Wanted to hear your guys' perspective.
We've been keeping a close eye on it. It's fascinating because every week, sometimes every day, there's new probe news. It's nuclear powered. It's got its own light source. There's mini probes on it, like it's spider
And it
eggs.
just so happened that the government shut down, and at the time in which we should have had they did capture an HD image, all of a sudden NASA isn't providing that information. Huh?
Yeah, and they're also bugged out that China chose not to take pictures of it, I guess. But everyone else did. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Too many coincidences. I don't know.
Yep.
What are the odds this is Disney?
Ooh.
Oh,
Hear me
Okay.
out. All right. So Disney is in shambles. The movie industry is falling apart. This is basically marketing for Armageddon 2. They're going to get Pedro Pascal to get on that ship, and he's going to say, I want to pay taxes.
Okay. Now,
Bruce Willis is
devil's
miraculously cured.
advocate.
A dream
One
come,
of the
yeah.
questions I have is that if this is meant to be a psyop, why are there so few people that are actually viewing these videos? I'm looking at one from 5 days ago that only has 17,000 views.
Yeah, I think because it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about the war and stuff on reality, is that they've seeded the war at every single possible front line of anyone's interest. So you've got entertainment, Hollywood, politics, sports, the people who are into UFOs, the people who are into the paranormal stuff. It's like everywhere. So I think the psyops are it's widespread. They're using AI to create it. And so no matter where you are and what you think about the world, they attack religion, they're attacking literally everything. So that's my take on that.
Okay. And the algorithm presents you with what's going to influence you the most.
Curated, personalized doomsdays. Good luck.
Creepy as fuck.
Good luck.
Sorry.
And Godspeed. Yeah, man. Well, thank you for calling in, man. I'm glad we got you in tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Of course. Have a good one.
You too, thanks.
Well, guys, it is 12:04. Allegedly, it's Thursday. I see Scum KD out there saying, Shane, with the government shutdown, we are seeing real clouds now. I've seen some more, but they've privatized a lot of this sky mutilation. So I'm still seeing them in West Virginia. But I do hope we can save the clouds and keep the government shut down in perpetuity.
We got a little bit of rain since the government shut down, right? It's rained like twice, but not as But
not
it
as
wasn't.
acidic.
It wasn't torrential downpour like we had for the 2 straight months going into
When I debated
summer this year.
Cloudman, I swear to you, I had a black cloud over my house when I got home. I messaged him. I was like, "Did you send this to me?" He said no, but I'm like, he's a liar. And
I wanted to come in early and just be like, I personally hold you responsible for the basement flooding 5 different times this year, and I would like you to personally bring your mullet over to my house and assist me with wet dry vacuuming the basement.
Florida banned weather modification.
They did.
So, have you seen our hurricane season this year?
There was none.
We haven't had any.
Isn't that bizarre?
It's kind of like how the flu went away that one time.
Yeah, interesting how that happens.
Yeah, that was really funny, wasn't it?
Interesting. Robbie's saying bone dry here in Texas. Scom, you're saying in Washington State they usually have just a haze in the sky. Today I saw cumulus clouds. Look at that.
Government shuts down, and just like that, there was no more weather. Poof!
Reality 101 says both of us are just aberrations in Shane's mind. Yeah. Oh, hi, Patrick shouts. It's good to have you here. He says, OMG, Shane is still going. I'm trying.
But did he all in caps?
No, I wish.
Value in you
That's his
21
moniker.
says, Brandon, you look like a sober, sane Johnny Knoxville. Thanks, bro.
That's good.
Appreciate
Hey,
that.
that's great. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You all the best. Thank you for the callers. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the chats. Brandon, why don't you tell them where they can find you?
As always, you can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Send me all of your show-related weirdness. We will bring it up here. Again, I don't have access to the other one, so it's just easier to do it this way. Thank you to Adam, our guest, for being here. Thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to all of our callers. We will be back tomorrow night for one more night of weirdness at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to stay weird. We'll catch you tomorrow. Shane, do you want to...
Yeah, Adam, you're one of the best. I'm so glad to have you in the room. It's always a pleasure talking. We did IRL 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
It was a while back in the old studio. And I love those conversations. So it was a real pleasure and an honor to have you in the room with us. Tell everyone where they can find you. Tell everyone where they can find the book, all that good stuff.
You can find me on Twitter. It is Lectern Leader. It's Lectern Leader. Lots of jokes, lots of fun. We cook some meats and make fun of politicians.
That's right.
As far as the book Taking a Stand, you can find it on my website. Unlicensed.furnituremovers.com. If you order in the next 2 weeks, I'll make sure I have it shipped out and signed for you.
Fantastic. And also, subscribe, share the show with everybody that you know. Shane, get us out of here.
Get the book. This is the real story, not the fake one you hear on the news. It's important to hear those stories. So I hope you guys check it out. Thanks again to Adam. Thanks to Brandon for running the ship tonight. Thank you all out there for joining us. We love you. You guys are the best. The chat is hilarious. You keep us going. We will see you later today, technically. Hope you have a great night.